Change your shirt, Simon.
There we go. We're live. What is up, everybody?
Not doing it, Nick. Not doing it.
Let's take a look, see how this is all looking over here. Oh, that's weird. It's got the four of us. Doesn't have. It's only showing. It's not showing Graham. That's funny.
Oh, you know what? Let me see something. It might have the non-video people off.
Participants. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I guess. I don't know.
Probably because it does that sometimes.
Yeah. Right now I just got Foursquare. That's cool. Not a biggie. Let's get all this.
I can come in like the voice of God.
Yeah, right.
We all must listen to Graham, the omnipotent one.
Yeah, see, now since I'm running right through Zoom, then if I go full screen, then I can't operate anything else.
How is everyone?
What is going on, everybody? What's that, Simon?
Hey, did you have a good week, bro?
Yeah. Belated Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy Festivus for the rest of us. And yeah, it was good.
I was hoping you'd wear your pajamas today.
No, I got different ones I could throw on real quick.
Nick's hanging behind his door the whole time. He loves to show his closet off. That guy.
Oh yeah. He doesn't have anything hanging in there except himself. He might have to throw it in there just so it doesn't drip over it. Let's see who we got up in chat. We got Michelle's out there. We got Pippa's out there. What's up, Pippa? Little Angel. Steve-O's in the chat. Luke Loop. Nick the Giant Cucumber Evans. What's up, Nance? Merry Christmas to you. We kind of said a family one, but I'll say it again. Ronnie's out there. What's up, Ronnie? See who else we got. Okay, who does that? Okay. Yeah, Lori's out there. What's up, Lori? Spork Leafy, he was first in. Swaggy Shane. Yeah, Swaggy Shane has released his Raspberry.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it's the 1.1, Tam.
Is that the one it is? Okay.
Yep,
cool.
it's the 1.1 is the one that got released.
Tasty?
Oh, it's good. It's real good. It's one of the better raspberries I've tried, and I'm like middle of the road raspberries. Like I can, it is or it isn't green. It's like whatever. It's like there's not many. I'm like just say, oh my god, this is the best one ever because it's just for me. Raspberries just don't get my dick hard like that. Al Ben, you're out there. Forrest Gump. What's up, Forrest? Jenny's still a whore.
So you got a new addition to the family, Frank, I believe.
Yeah, coming in July.
In July.
Ooh,
nice.
Congrats.
Yeah,
Cool.
Good, Luke. I'll hit you up and speak to you about it, mate.
What's up, Luke? Yeah, let's see. So, anybody have any Christmas traditions that they've carried on this year?
Yeah, I just drank a shitload and ate a shitload, and that's pretty much Christmas.
Oh, there you go.
I think my new one is going to be mixing Luke Loop's recipes. God, is
Yeah,
that guy underrated or what?
Bad Christmas tradition either.
Not bad at all. I mean, Jesus Christ! I went on a marathon with his recipes. I actually ran out of VG doing it.
Oh,
I thought you said you were going on a slim fast diet.
No, I wouldn't do that. The Luke Loop one is good enough. Now I got to use Spellcart's one shots again as my bases.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, also Shane has the Make It Bigger sale going on right now. You order a 30 ml, you get a 60. You order a 60, you get a 120.
Yeah, that's cool.
I think if you order half a gallon, he may send you a gallon, but I'm not sure.
Oh, a gallon.
You said the sale's still going.
Yeah, Swaggy, may I please have half of everything that you have in stock?
Oh,
Damn. Yeah, Orlando,
Lando.
Yeah, I was catching a little bit of college football game earlier, and damn, LSU beat the brakes off of Oklahoma in the first playoff game. It's like, holy shit.
See, to me, it seems like natural to have football going at Christmas time.
Oh, yeah.
It's all about cricket at Christmas.
Oh yeah, for you
Australia,
guys. Yep.
Australia beating the pants off New Zealand at the moment in the Boxing Day test. It's pretty cool.
Oh, cool. Yeah, the second game's going now. Clemson and Ohio State. And Clemson was 3-point favorite in that game. Last I checked, Ohio State was winning early. I want to see. I hate Ohio State. I want to see Clemson beat the brakes off them. And then Clemson beat up on LSU.
I have no idea, Frank.
Now,
What is wrong?
Michelle, how I know obviously you being from Alabama, you'd be a Tide fan, but how can you actually have LSU as your second favorite? It just that would almost be like me having Dallas as a second favorite. It just doesn't happen. It's like it's weird. Like I just never heard that before. I could see if it was like Alabama and not even Alabama Auburn, that'd be even worse. Oh, you
like
love
having a
all
favorite
things
team
Louisiana.
that's
Okay.
like having a favorite team with a rival.
Mhm, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That doesn't work.
So what do you reckon, Frank? Do you reckon we're going to see a flavour ban this week?
No.
I don't think so either.
No, I think they're going to just wait now till May.
Mm.
I just
Is
think
that
it was
when
a
the
big scare
PMTA is supposed
tactic.
to kick in?
Yeah, PMTA is coming out in May, so that's when
May.
that's when kitchens close, game over. Cancel Christmas. It's gonna be done.
Yeah, look, I'm hoping something pops up, but at this stage,
I don't know how there could be.
Joey.
yeah, I just think that there's not enough time for something to change.
Yeah, I mean, like your T21 apparently went into effect immediately as soon as the president signed the spending bill. But all the states are like, no, we're doing our thing. If you want to go federal, that's all you, but we're not doing it.
Mm. I get the T21 thing, I do, but I really can't see why a federal government would bring something in that the states just can ignore. I suppose it's and I think that's like wrapped up in how it works here in Australia. And I've mentioned it 100 times before that the federal law overrides any state law, which makes sense to me, But and I suppose I just don't quite get the bottom up laws that you guys have. That it works from the bottom up instead of the top down sort of thing.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
It's
here's the main difference in a nutshell. The U.S. technically is a republic, and Australia is a democracy. So
yeah,
it's
not
like,
really, but yeah, in name.
yeah, exactly. And that's basically a republic is, basically the states will do their thing and federal government kind of oversees it. But in a democracy, it's more like a tyranny.
Well,
Yeah, well, that's
instead of
true. It happens.
Is that the People's
I
Republic?
feel
of
like we're a tyranny
China?
as it is.
Oh yeah, pretty much.
I read an article today,
Everywhere
actually,
is.
just before Mike's show, that Australia has had in the last 10 years or so the most number of laws introduced at a federal level that restrict our freedoms in the world. So our government is currently winding back our freedoms at an alarming rate. So
Michelle, we don't talk about that yet. Keep quiet on that one. You never know. You never know who's listening, who's watching.
well,
Joey wants a whiskey sour, Tam.
Oh, interesting. I'll
A
have
whiskey
to.
sour vape. I think she actually wants a whiskey sour, but
Yeah, I really think that's what you really want.
Well, I mean, has anyone ever drunk and vaped the same thing at the same time?
not really, because
I
I
vape
don't
when I was
really
drunk.
drink.
if I've done that plenty of times. But I mean, if I have if I'm like have a coffee vape, I don't want to drink coffee.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
when I'm drinking coffee, if I want to have like a donut vape, it makes it pairs like coffee. Like we actually did a show on Fresh's channel when his Saturday shows was coffee pairings. It was me, Shindo, Fresh, obviously. Slash, it was just might have been before us. Maybe Addie was there, and that's all we did was talk about flavor pairing or coffee pairings.
That's a weird one that I did was I had a recipe that had FA Mandarin in it, and I
Mhm.
was drinking Sunkist soda, and it was completely muted out.
Oh yeah,
Which one, the vape or the soda?
The vape on the
Yeah,
vape. So
I believe
was
it.
tasting
Just
the
like-
soda, and then I went to vape it, and I'm like, "Where's the orange gone?"
oh, that's like if I drink a cola, and if I'm vaping something sweet, yeah, it's gone.
Mm.
Completely
I've
gone.
tried a few cola vapes and I've never really enjoyed them. They all every cola to me is like if you've had a night on the Terps and you poured yourself that last drink and then you got up and drank it. It's just flat and horrible.
Mhm.
And
Got to put BT lemonade clear or citrus soda into it because cola is a
yeah,
citrus.
you
like
get that
Coke is like a
fizz for a
citrus
little while,
flavor.
but it does still drop back.
Yeah,
Nick
I-
just
I
said
heard
it
that
just
all the
needs
time.
sweetener. That's your problem. It just needs
that's true.
sweetener.
You're right.
That's where you're losing out.
Yeah, must be. Must be.
Yeah,
Happy
Oh,
to
you don't
see
Michelle,
put
FA
sweetener in it?
Cola. Don't even waste your time with FA Cola. Now, Flavor's Cola is decent.
Decent.
Yeah,
What do you think about
Decent.
FA Cola Pleasure?
I've
That's what
never
he
tried it, but
said.
I've never really heard it was. Never heard anything good
It's-
about it, really.
it's not
Or
terrible.
I had
It's-
never even heard anything bad about it either.
Oh, Joey's been vaping Cardinal for like a month.
yeah,
Oh,
you can
but
do
that is awesome stuff. If you're gonna vape,
that's your
something
peach.
much.
That's your peach, isn't it, Tam?
Yeah,
that's the-
try
no,
the
not-
peach cardinal. No, it's not peach cardinal. Yeah, it is.
Well, there's Peach Cardinal, yeah, but I think she might be just talking about OG
Yeah,
Cardinal.
yeah. She just is doing
Fierce.
cardinal.
Yeah, Fierce one.
Holy Grail, Burley in Kentucky, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
There is
if
one
you're gonna vape
I've-
something for a month, that's what I'd vape.
Yeah, me
There's
too.
one good one that I did like that has cola in it, and that's Wonder Flavors Cola and Rum.
That is a good one. I have that.
I like that one.
And I usually I'll
They're
bump
cola
up the
gummy.
rum with another rum.
Excuse me for just 1 second. My daughter's calling me. I'll have to get this. Sorry,
Sure,
guys.
Tom. Yeah, FA Pleasure with FA Caramel. Yeah, that works.
Yeah, they're called.
A
I'm
little
almost
pleasure
done.
with some caramel.
Nothing like pleasuring yourself.
Yeah, and just use some caramel, but you really need the VG though.
Yeah, PG.
There you go.
That's where it's left out in the slippery department. PG has to be a little higher than the VG.
Yeah, I don't know.
Little paraffin.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know, most people. I mean, I just go and dry. Screw it.
Yeah. You don't have time for all that. We gonna do this already? Is this where we're
That's
going?
it. Yeah, we're
One call you can't ignore.
no, when the kids call now.
But yeah. So what are we on today, Frank? We're going to do a little bit of old school stuff.
Yeah, I was looking. I actually went into ELR, and you know how you can just go by date, and
Yep.
the very first recipe is by Lars, and it goes back to 2010.
Yep.
Wow.
I was just I did not
Wow,
realize.
2010.
Yes.
Is
I was just
there-
like,
I'd be curious to see a list of when every single flavoring company came about. Like what year did they come in and start manufacturing?
DIY
and
Flavor
selling?
Shack. DIY Flavor Shack's been around since 2005.
Wow.
That's crazy, right? Like, what were they doing?
I would imagine some of them. See, I'm gonna pull that list up.
I know Flavor West has been around forever.
Well, yeah, Flavor West was they weren't meant for vaping to start with. That's why.
Yeah. And then Flavor Art and Capella. They've been around since the beginning when I started in 2013.
Yeah, here's the very first recipe ever put on ELR, December 19th, 2010. So just a little over 9 years ago. It's called Dark Sunset by Laura's. It's a 3-flavor, 10%, 24 milligram nicotine. It's dark Vapture from FA. It's all FA. Mellow Sunset and Shade from. So it's basically, I guess it's a tobacco.
Backy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Actually, it comes, if you look down the notes, it's at source esigforum.dk.
Yep.
So, but 20, yeah, the thing is that would still work today.
Yeah.
You know, there'd be nothing wrong with, well, except maybe the nick levels would probably, you know, most people would drop the nick levels considerably, but you know,
yeah, because he's not vaping out of a battery or a flashlight.
You want me to share screen? You want me to share that on screen there, Frank?
Oh, I can actually pull it up since
Okay.
I'm just running straight through Zoom tonight.
Yeah, I did find it on ELR. Pretty cool.
Yeah, and if you go over and hit rating, you're getting a lot of like the the highest rated mixes. They all go from like most of them are 2015, 16, 17. And you see like a lot of like vaping home mixers, Darren Cole, Ken Aware, and something like Jen Jarvis has one up here, not Charles Manson. Fresh actually has one here from June 2015, Fresh 03 Strawberry Milkshake. This was one of the first mixes I ever mixed, except I didn't have the dairy mug. I think I did an adaptation. And it was 22.3% flavor.
Mix that up today, Frank, on the show.
Yeah, right. I don't have the TFA dairy milk. I don't know what I used.
Wow,
for that.
cinnamon Danish cream back in 2010. Bavarian cream by Lorenz. Cap cinnamon Danish swirl. Cinnamon roll by Lorenz. Wow.
Yeah.
And then TPA's cotton candy ethyl maltol. Wow.
Michelle's
12%.
first one was 2015. Yeah, see, my first one was 2017. Here,
wow, cinnamon Danish swirl was at 10%.
Ooh.
10%.
That just sounds like a bad dream.
Wow.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, devices work.
Sounds like a bloody mess.
Yeah, I know. The total recipe was 29% in 2010.
Yeah. Well,
those were essentially
like that. Though,
pod machines.
Vaping on were totally different than
they were essentially.
All right, Joey, enjoy your night. Good seeing you pop in.
Oh yeah, it was like a AA battery connected to some wire.
Yeah,
Darren Cole.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah, like Daz, like near Daz Cole's, lemon tart.
I didn't realize Darren's been around that long.
Oh. Yeah.
Have you not looked at him?
Yeah, I looked at this one from Jane Jarvis, Mama Melons, inspired by the Monster Mega Melon. It has 3% sweetener. She said you can bump it up to 5.
Nick would love that.
That is one of the first mixes I mix. And one of the number one reasons that I cannot do TFA honeydew
is because of that mix.
Cantaloupe. Yes.
Yeah, it's TFA cantaloupe at 6%. It's ethyl maltol at 0.5, honeydew by a 1, mango at 4.5.
And I'm sure it's good, but for me, it just was not my.
Yeah, it's 18.75%. When we started mixing, it was very common to be between 15 and 20% because the flavors weren't strong.
Yeah, 20% was average, or it was like what you were shooting for.
Well, it's not so much the flavors weren't strong. Well, yeah, that but it was mostly because the devices we were on mouth to lung devices, not direct lung. RDAs and
4 watts with a 2 ohm coil.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you had to have a high percentage recipes to get the flavor in it.
See, a lot of these would probably still work quite nicely in a pod. Yeah,
they're exactly.
Simple, they're simple flavors.
Get nuances
they're not
and
complex.
stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
yeah, they were pod devices, basically, right?
Yeah.
Those were pretty much, they were all tanks. They weren't sub-ohm tanks. They were all just tanks. Allowed them like 1.6, 1.8, 2 ohm coils.
It's funny how the wheels turned all the way
around. Clearomizer.
Pods have come.
Clearomizers, cartomizers. I mean,
Clearomizer may as well be a pod, basically.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, essentially they are. The wattage is similar. The coils similar. The draws similar. It's the wheels turn back around right into into old
Mhm.
school vaping again, which, you know,
Yeah, they're like bell
it
bottoms.
or, you know, if you like it, you like it, and a lot of people still like that kind of vape. I personally don't, but
See you, Pippa.
Catch you later, Pippa. Have a good day.
But yeah, look, I mean, I've actually, everyone will fall off the seat. I got a Caliburn coming.
Oh, okay.
Only because I won it, but you know, it was on one of those, you know, the Christmas things where you break the eggs on a site and they give you a prize. I kept getting 1% off this and 1% off that, and then I got a Caliburn. I went, oh, okay, well, I'll have a crack with that. So that'll be interesting to have a vape on.
Oh, what's
There
that?
you go.
Silica
Silica
wick?
wicks.
The old school silica
cartomizer?
wicks. Yeah,
Looks brand new.
yeah, it is. It's a VV Nova.
Oh, you should fire that up, Steve-O.
There you go.
You can vape some black market THC out of that.
Yeah, man, I can do some good
Please.
stuff with that.
Please do.
I
that's
can
what they're
mix up some
designed
of these
for.
older recipes and use this.
Well, you could just probably use a pod if you've got a pod, but you know,
Yeah.
no need for silica wicks nowadays, mate.
There you go. Go old school.
Yeah, it's real old
Talking
school.
about old school.
chuck it on a you know, a 200-watt device, see how that rolls.
Well, if the
Because
chipset's
that's how they
right,
do all the scientific testing now. You know,
Yeah.
they'll get one of them and, you know, put it on, crank it up to up to 200 watts and go, oh yeah, it's not good for you.
Oh, sure thing, Nick.
It was so old school and put it on my thing, I think, that went to a maximum of 12 watts.
Fire.
Nick's up all night. Wow.
I'm telling you.
That looks. What is that?
There you go.
No, I was asking Steve. What is that? Does that vibrate?
It's been
I think
tested.
I cornered the market on that, according to what Nick said.
I didn't catch Fresh's show, Frank, but apparently our conversation about personal electronic nicotine inhalation systems caught on. We're trying to spread the good word.
You gotta spread the love.
There is no more e-cigarettes. It's just penises and vaginas.
It even says right there when I started vaping, 2013. New.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I think I ditched most of my old gear. I just sort of thought, well, you know, not going to use it. Nick's back. Why are you up again still, Nick? Why are you at a loose end tonight, mate?
I'm off work, aren't I?
Not enough super sweet.
You on holiday too, huh?
Yeah. So next Thursday.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
I'm off until
Oh,
the
you can
6th.
come. We don't have it. Are we doing a show this week, Simon?
We were discussing whether we would do one with sunglasses on because it's New Year's Day here, I think. And
Oh, Shane's got it. TFA is 2004. Flavor
No,
West
it's New Year's
2012.
Day for me, but
yeah.
Wow.
the
Yeah, yeah.
after.
Lorenz goes all the way back to 1962.
See how we roll. Well,
My computer.
go and have a look at Mother
Yeah,
Murphy's
definitely.
140 years or something. They've been making flavors.
Oh, wow.
Man.
Thanks, Swaggy Shane. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is definitely.
That is cool shit, man.
You're thinking, and Lorenz has been around for 57 years and still can't get it right.
Swaggy must have one of them Google machines.
That in their Google contraption.
To the Google machine.
Yeah, so Vidalgo was asking, I was doing both. So I was mixing in 2013 for my first year. Then I didn't find a lot of support and everything in mixing. So I gave up after my first year of vaping and just stuck with commercial. And then Humble Juice Company is the one that completely destroyed me and sent me right back to DIY.
How humble. I'm surprised you didn't go back to smoking.
Yeah, I got lucky.
I mean, their stuff is fucking garbage.
Yeah. Rather than
There's maybe like 0.5 of blueberry in that, and then the rest is super sweet.
Yeah, I was gonna say 95% super sweet.
Yeah.
sounds good.
I mean, it just
Yeah,
you,
that was
you could
that was
put that, you
horrid.
could put that on on an RDA and your coil just shrivels up in fear.
Yeah. Bye-bye coils.
Yeah.
The black. The
Oh,
black.
yeah. Hey, you're not vaping 2 mLs of that without having to change your wicks.
Yeah, that stuff was bad.
Yeah, pinup. Yeah, that pinup line, that was a rough one too from Vaporgate.
Never did try that one.
Yeah, there. Which one was it? The Maryland? I think there was one that's like a caramel, someone's an RY4 custard or something. That one wasn't too bad. They may only use 2 or 3% sweetener in that, but the rest of them is nothing but sweetener. Yeah, pure sugar, exactly.
I was getting pre-nicked stuff out of the U.S. I cannot remember the name of the damn company. They made a straight grape flavor and a straight cherry flavor that I loved. Yeah, that's what I was vaping most of the time. I love that. That was
Okay.
good.
There was a guy.
what do you call old school? Like, are you including Flavora in old school?
Maybe something like the first flavors. Well, you figure if you want to go
Bing,
classic, you
Bing
think.
cherry. Bing cherry.
Oh God.
Yeah, well, that's
I never
not
had
even
that
around
one.
anymore.
Yeah. I just basically stuff that like everybody has. Yeah, everybody has. Anybody's been mixing for any length of time, or like even a lot of new mixers are buying TFA Flavor West there because of the price.
And Capella.
And Capella, obviously, yes, and even Flavor Art to an extent. Flavor Art, you know, like 250 a flavor for a 10 mil in Bull City. So, and
I wonder
you
when
figure
they
a lot of
released the
stuff-
first. Sorry, I
okay,
wonder
a
when
lot
they
of
released the first version of Cap Sugar Cookie.
when it was released. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
I bet you could figure it out if you ran to that Google machine again.
there you go.
Okay, Capella's been around since 05, and Capella's another one. They started out with diabetic flavor. It was basically food flavoring that was, diabetic friendly.
Well, it's fun. This week, I have been playing with old school flavors, and I forgot we were doing this. So it really kind of works out because I have my old, oh my gosh, from my local vape shop, Vapes Gone Wild.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in Newton, Georgia, check them out. They also sell, what's his name? Oh my gosh, she's a big advocate and was in A Million Lives, whatever.
David Gerlitz.
Who?
David Gerlitz.
Yeah, the Winston dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
They sell his
CBD line, the Pinnacle.
no.
Oh.
He has vape juice, like RY4s and stuff. They sell it there.
Oh, okay. I ain't really seen.
Yeah. Anyway, so
The Velocity
anyway,
is still a good RDA.
the spiffy juice. Steve gets cracked up when I say it because he thinks I'm saying stiffy, but it's spiffy juice. They sold it there like forever. Well, really, they started probably about 2000. I started vaping in into 13, beginning of 14, something like that. So they probably started selling it like in the end of 14, beginning of 15. And I vaped it up until I started mixing. And then I never, ever spiffy. Yes, spiffy. Yes. I never tried to clone it. Never. Because it's sacred,
Yeah, I get
it's
that.
like, and it's their juice. I didn't want to clone it. But now I'm like, what if flavors go away? I can't go grab a bottle if I wanted to. Not that I go buy it often, but sometimes I'll go get a bottle. So this week I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm going to try to clone it. So I am like 90% there. 90% there.
Okay.
I would have
Okay,
died
wait.
if there was cucumber in it.
No cucumber. But it's definitely a berry crunch cereal, Bavarian cream meringue,
Yeah.
TFA. Really, really, really simple and no sweetener. They don't add sweetener to their house juice.
See, Nick?
Yeah, they need to talk to Nick, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they're missing out, and they're missing out.
But
No,
they might
Shane's
have
gonna
added
clone it and call
cotton
it-
candy. That's where I'm thinking it might be some
Probably.
cotton candy.
Or it could be some TFA sweetener.
No, it wouldn't be sweet. No, they don't add sweetener. It says no sweetener added. But they could say cotton candy and it would be.
Yeah. Yeah, they could do that. Well, plus we know a lot of like if they're using a lot of Flavor West, it already has a lot of sucralose in it, so they don't have to add sweetener.
Yeah. So one of the original commercial juices that I vaped for probably about a day before I got sick of it was one called Honey Bear, and it was basically graham cracker, honey, and about 10% sweetener.
Yeah, we had to sweeten up that honey to keep it from being cat piss.
Yeah, well, mate, it was sweet, and I got through probably 2 tanks of that before I just went, you know what, nah, too sweet.
That's why when I buy the premium shit, whatever, in the bottle, no, I mean, this isn't a bottle, damn. God, you know, from a company that's not, they don't mix their, fuck, whatever.
Not a house juice.
Vape shit.
Yeah,
it is so full of sweetener. I can't vape it. It's just too much.
Oh yeah, like Vapesia's killer custard or lemon custard is basically their custard with pledge added.
I cannot. It's too sweet. Too sweet. I cannot vape it.
You gotta get some batteries.
I mean, that one was terrible. That was. I mean, I've had 2 different people send me 60 ml bottles of it. And I'm like, you're not my friend anymore, are you?
I don't like you.
Yeah.
Sugar Cookie was first used in the recipe October 24th, 2013.
Oh, an ELR, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The first recipe on all the flavors I was used in was not Charles Manson strawberry shortcake bar.
Oh yeah.
That was your first mix you did?
What?
That was your first mix?
No, that was the first time it was used on ELR. October.
Ironic, it's called Short Dick, right? That's the first one he mixed, and it's called Short Dick. Yeah. That's hilarious.
Cinnamon cookies.
Get it? See the, you know what I mean? See the irony?
I know what you mean.
He's like acting like he doesn't get it.
I didn't hear you, Graham.
He knows what you mean. He's just being that British kind of.
Here we go. Yeah, strawberry shortcake bar, not Charles Manson. September 2nd, 2015 is when it hit ELR.
The classic.
Yeah, 3% TFA Bavarian cream, 1% Inaware biscuit. Yeah, see, Inaware, you can throw them into classics because a lot of their flavors are from, early, 2010s, 15s.
Yeah.
1.5% cheesecake graham crust, 6% TFA strawberry ripe, 1.5% TFA strawberry, 2% sugar cookie, 2% swirl, and 1.5% Flavor West yellow cake. He mixed it max VG and 8120, so basically 80 to 80-20, 1% Nick, 18.5%.
What a basic bitch, huh?
No, I'm good.
Look at that. Look at the flavors he used on that.
Oh yeah. It's 8 flavors, so it's almost quite verified. And it's all TFA cat flavor. I mean, this is basically the definition of a classic recipe right there.
Yeah. He's doing good too. I
was actually we were speaking about this, Graham, a couple of weeks ago, where we were talking about when a flavor didn't exist back when you started mixing, you'd fucking make it. And now, to a point, it's got to the point where a lot of flavor houses are coming out with these more and more complex mixes. So the art of manufacturing a flavor from scratch is sort of going by the wayside a little bit. And it's interesting the way it's turned in that, instead of having to construct a yogurt from scratch, you now just go and buy a fucking yogurt.
Yeah, do we even talk about flavor bending anymore?
Yeah.
You
don't need to anymore.
Yeah,
it's not a thing. But it kind of screws, like what Simon's saying, is it screws the mixer becomes less skilled.
Yeah.
Just can't.
I can look. It's a double-edged sword to a degree because you don't need to do it anymore, so why do it? But at the same time, it opens it up to so many more people to make a better mix with less concentrate. So you know, it's a good and bad thing, I guess, in that if you got your grounding when you had a limited number of flavors that you can use and you wanted to manufacture something, you really have to work to make a flavor. Now you can, for the most part, a lot of the time you can go off what it says on the bottle, unless it's like hard crack candy, in which case, you know, hard crack toffee, in which case you got coffee. But, for the most part, you can, you know, sit off what it says on the label, whereas before a lot of people used to mix by what they tasted instead, and that's sort of going by the wayside. A lot of people don't mix what they taste; they mix what it says on the label. Oh, I need a lemon meringue pie. I'll use a lemon meringue pie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but you know, I can see a plus and a minus to that, in that it makes it easier for newer mixers to come in and actually get something to vape relatively quickly.
Yeah,
you know,
and in today's market, that's what we need, because, you know, especially
well,
here in the States, it's not going to be long where everyone's going to have to DIY, or they're going to have to buy it on the black market. So,
yeah. Well, see, the downside for us, because we're probably going to go that way too, the way our government thinks at the moment, and everything's fucking imported. You know, it's going to be tough to get some flavors in. You know, all I have to see is flavor and come from a place that says vape in the name, and it will get bloody tossed back. I can see the day where it happens. You know?
and another problem is it's going to affect these flavor companies to the point that some of them are going to go out of business. And we're not going to get the flavors.
Yeah. I mean, if there's the commercial side of things falls in a massive heap, the price of the DIY flavors is going to either skyrocket or they just won't be around.
Yeah, I mean, we'll end up going back to using TFA Flavor West and Capella, because they're used for other applications.
Yep. So, you know, like I guess learning the craft and going back to some of the old recipes is a good idea for some people, especially if you're using a pod. Go back and make some of the recipes that were spat out in, you know, 2014, 15, stuff like that. Bake them in a pod, see how they roll for you, because there's every chance they're going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, so, but I mean, I'm not a pod fan by any stretch. I haven't even ever bothered to buy one. As I said, I got the Caliburn because I won it, but. The only reason I haven't gone there is because, well, why would I when I can vape how I want to vape, you know what I mean, and not have to suck a bowling ball through a garden hose.
Yeah, there's some women out there make a living.
This is the third time I've heard that today. Yeah.
Well, there's people
too.
who pay money for that.
You know, like, here's another mix. This is from Elisa, Demama's RY4 Delight from 2016. It's cattle and cream. You know, who uses cattle and cream anymore? I mean, you very rarely see anybody using that flavor.
Yeah.
RY4 Double at 8%. Sweet cream from Flavor West at 2.5, and Cat Vanilla Custard V2 at 2%.
Actually, one of Alyssa's, I think, is the most rated recipe on ELR to this day. I'm not sure whether it's still got top notch or not.
She's still putting mixes out.
Oh,
the
yeah,
last mix she put out was in September. The last one she released.
Yeah. No, this is still around on ELR. It's one of the mods. So, but Buster Nut is the one I'm talking about, which you know, that one, a lot of people made that, and it's a relatively simple mix. I made it. It wasn't to my taste. I didn't really, you know, didn't gel with me. But you know, Bav cream, butter pecan, hazelnut, sweet cream, and sucralose. You know, simple mix.
Ooh,
and
that'll go with Cryptic Manila, one of Folk Arts mixes.
Yeah, this one, it's 5 flavors, all Flavor West.
Nice.
Yep. And that one's, you know, a lot of people still make it. A lot of people still love it. I think there's about 300 or 400 comments on it.
Oh, yeah. And I'm still missing 2 flavors in that one: the butter pecan from Flavor West and sweet cream.
Really?
Yeah, I don't have those 2.
Butter
Flavor West and TPA
Flavor West?
and
Yeah,
What's
Flavor West. And like here's Goofy's juice from
right.
I don't know how the Vladimiros dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has
So-
a 20-day steep time on it. He had it 50-50. It's only 6.8% flavoring, but he had acetylpyrazine at 0.3, graham cracker clear at 0.5, Flavor West hazelnut at 1, TFA peanut butter at 1, and RY4 double at 4.
There was a bit of a controversy when that one came out, actually, if I remember correctly, because he was a member of a really, really big mixing community over in Greece. And
Okay.
Mhm.
the day it was released, it pretty much hit top spot with like 400 comments or 200 comments or something like that. It was on first page, top-notch recipes, and everyone's going, well, he only released it today. How can you people have all made it and steeped it? But he released it in the Greek recipe group well before he put it on
Were they
ELR.
implying that the Greek cheat on elections? Is that what they were implying? How dare them? Wow.
Yeah,
What
here's
happened?
one.
Did it fall? The recipe?
Yeah, right.
No, it's still right
It's
up
still
there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, what's the
he's
most
actually-
recent? Sorry, what's the most recent of the top 10 on ELR?
Oh,
You understand what I mean?
okay.
Because they all seem like they're like Manson's been dead for 4 years and it's still up there. don't get it.
Goofy's Juice is May 2017. Lemon Tart V4 from Voodoo Troll is October 2017. And that one has 184 5-star reviews. Let's see. Yeah, they're all 2016, 15,
17. I think 17 is in on the top 2 pages. The earliest date 17.
Yeah.
There's some 14s, 15s, and look, speaking realistically, the way that ELR works is time will be your friend.
Yeah.
The ones that are up there will always be up there because it's a self-perpetuating thing. They're up there because they're the oldest and more people see them and still make them today. So there's quite a considerable number up there that probably today there's better recipes that are out there today, but they've got age on their side and therefore float to the top of the barrel.
Right, like
Not to say that they're not good recipes.
Yeah, here's one. It's a Sin Apple Fritter. It says DIY or die Returnity, but it's from Returnity.
Yeah, it's Returnity. He hasn't been with DIY in eternity.
Yeah,
I'm noticing how many tobaccos there were. There's a boatload of tobaccos back in the early days.
Oh yeah. No, this one's Cinnamon Dana Swirl at 5%, Rich Cinnamon at 0.3, Joy at 0.5, Fuji Apple at 4, TFA Dragon Fruit at 0.67, TFA Bavarian Cream at 3, and FA Almond at 0.5.
It's like we at DIY or die. We only had 12 concentrates, so we all had to like just figure out what to make with it. They're all the same, just jumbled up like Taco Bell.
Pretty much.
just different percentages. Oh, push this forward.
Yeah. That's like when remember Conrad? Does anyone remember Conrad?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
When he was going against Manson or not Manson, Kickin in that mix-offs that they had, and Conrad calls me after Manson or Kickin beats him, and he goes, "He didn't really win. He just used better concentrates at better percentages." Think about.
What's going on, Mark? What's up, Kev's Birds?
That's pretty much the exact definition of winning it. But yeah,
I went, yeah, pretty much. That's what he did. He used better concentrates at better percentages. It's hilarious.
But yeah, like there's a couple in that that top echelon, the oldest recipes that still hold up today.
Bro nuts.
Bro nuts, Rhodonite.
Not so much bro nuts, but Ken O'Ware's Straudana custard. Now you look at that and you go 10% VC1. Really? And I'll tell you what, though, after 2 months, that shit is still fucking delicious.
Yeah. That was one of the first mixes I ever ordered, flavors for to mix. And it legit, there's something about that mix. Like I've said it a million times. 28, 29 days, it doesn't taste like shit. You get to 30 days, and all of a sudden the skies open up, and it's a mix. It's
like
it's like a time bomb.
Yeah, Ken hasn't been on ELR for a year or so now.
Yeah.
He's just sort of dropped off. I think. I hope he's okay. If you're watching, Ken, I hope you're okay, mate. But
I heard from him recently.
Oh, yeah. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Because I mean, when like a little while back, before he left, I was speaking to him about this, and he said, I made it and I cut everything down to a third of what it is in that recipe. And he goes, still tastes the fucking same. so like right. he said, like realistically, you don't need your 10% VC1. You could probably cut it with 4%. You'll be fine,
Yeah, Fidalgo says he made it from Kenaware used to make it for himself at 5%.
Yeah. So
Nashef and Zippy both came in at the same time. What were you two doing before?
Oh. Actually, now can you correct something for me, Tam? Your naughty custard, which you just put out, that's a picture of Nashef, right?
Yes, he sent me that a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
Oh, I thought maybe you might have flew down there real quick and took that picture.
No, I did not flee the country.
They don't let people in that country.
They don't let people out of that country.
Out or in. And thank God for that.
We have a bunch of cars sitting at the plant right now. They're supposed to go to Chile, and I guess there's something going on down there where they're not getting them. They've been sitting at the plant on the ground for 2 months.
So you're saying it's like a roach motel?
The only people
you
they
can check in, but you can't check out.
But don't worry, Chef. I like blocked out the pertinent stuff. They just see from the top up.
Chatterbait?
Yeah, you
have chatterbait in Argentina?
You need tokens to see the rest of it. I just want to know where that love sense is at.
You need 20 tokens per recipe, for sure. Equal 1. I don't think they have cheddar in Argentina.
Now, Robert Kai says what may be the very first patent for an electric vaporizer was filed May 3rd, 1927.
Whoa.
Yeah. The idea's been around. They got floated again in the 70s, I think. Another guy came up with one, and people were just saying, "No, waste of time."
Natalie.
If only they had followed through with it, we would have had the data that they fucking require to tell them that it's safe.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Oh, Nashef has the not suitable for work pictures with Tam mixing things. Oh.
Oh, is that what that stands for?
Yeah, not suitable for work. Yes.
Actually, one I made is a VHM. I made this way back when was Ella's shortbread biscuit, and I know that one still holds up.
She is. Don't get me started. Nick's like, oh God, there she goes. No, Ella, she is one of the pioneer mixers for women right there. That was good.
That is still a real tasty mix. And it's that's a 2016 mix.
She was my style of mixing.
I haven't looked at that mix in a while. Let me take a peek at it. Oh yeah, that's 5 flavor banger, 9%.
Yep.
Well, yeah. Speaking of old recipes, like Bot Boy's key lime pie was the ultimate key lime pie for me. Like it held up for the longest time until Nashef came through and murdered it this year with the Joker revised.
Yeah,
it's pretty close to like my recipe of the year, like what I would recipe of the year. Either that or Fresh's boysenberry yogurt. But I think Nashef might eke it out.
I need to look that up. Look at Third World Custard.
Yeah, only because he's on developed.
Yeah.
It has 10% Cat V1.
That was the pinnacle. That was the pinnacle. That chip was gold. And another one of my favorites very early on was Queen's Cookie Jar by Southern Mixer, which is, it's a 4-flavor banger. It's biscuit in a wearer at 1%, FA pear 1%, shisha strawberry in a wearer at 2.5, and sugar cookie at 3.5. Super simple, old school, tasty as fuck. And these mixes are kind of timeless. Some of them, it doesn't matter the device
Exactly.
you're just really well constructed.
Exactly.
And I think that's just that's what makes a great mix too, is you can mix it up and throw it in anything and you're going to get flavor out of it. What's up, Chrono?
Actually, I remember making one of Fresh's recipes, Addie's yogurt. That's Fresh's, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember making that one.
Yeah.
Tasty too.
Yeah, no, because Addie originally sent Fresh Addie's custard, and then Fresh turned into
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Which I still have some of the one shot. I mean, it's just
Still holds it up.
for some reason I've mixed it like a couple times, and it's like, I can go through like 30 mils of it, and then after that, I don't want to look at it for 6 months.
Yeah, it does do that, right? Like
It does for me. I mean,
me too. It's really, really, really good, and then it kind of fades
You sort of just get
out. But I think it's just
I think because it's that strawberry kiwi combination.
Yeah.
Actually, one that I still make today for myself is it's Lars's banana cake, which is a banana and biscuit mix. I still make that every so often just to throw out, and I add a little bit of caramel to it.
His name or
hang on, I'll bring it up. It's very
not Head and Clouds.
Like banana cream LA, biscuit in a wearer, cheesecake graham crust, fresh cream, vanilla custard. I don't think Steve-O would roll with that one because of the vanilla custard, but it's a tasty mix, and that that LA banana cream is pretty prominent at 4%, but a little bit of caramel in that as well is old school good.
The chef needs
I'll fix that right now.
All right. It's just a simple mortal there.
There you go, chef. You're way too sexy to not have a wrench.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, whoa, Frank, hold on.
Yeah, we might have to take a few wrenches off people.
You can have my wrench. How about that? Don't say Kim. I made him do it. What?
Well, I was looking at recipes.
He's going to show you, not tell you.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that.
Hey, Tam, thanks for getting our chef to wrench.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, don't let the wrench go to your head, mate.
Well, he's going to have recipe of the year. Right?
And you look at some of these older mixes, you can update them with newer flavors and cut the steep time down to nothing.
Yep,
right.
Absolutely. Well, I was talking about custards and this the other day, like the custards that are around now versus the custards that are around 4 years ago. Like the custards you use now.
That was today.
Was it? Oh, geez. Fair
today,
I've been on so many freaking feeds lately, but the time is just, 4 days versus a month or 4 months, depending on how you want to roll with it.
Where is my...
But, it makes stuff so much easier for people,
Oh yeah.
You can hit something 3 days after you mix it, and it's still pretty good. And there are a lot of the like I can shake and vape Cat VC1 so long as it's not 10%.
Yeah.
but it does get better over time, quite obviously. But there's a few out there now which you can just chuck them together and bang, off you go. Let them nap for a night and you're good. But I do like some of the old mixes though. There's another couple that I make for myself every so often. One of them is Head and Clouds Orange Tic Tac.
Yes.
The inside or the out?
Oh no, I make the full orange.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the when I first started making that, it was not long after it came out, and I used to have to bump everything by about a quarter, and now when I make it, I have to drop everything back because it's so strong for me. So
Yeah, I still have a little bit of Cat V1 left out of 120.
There you go.
I
you know,
probably have not used this in over a year though.
Hidden Clouds, Lars, they all had that kind of same style, you know?
Yeah. And I think it all came from the Reddit group where ELR was formed. You know, like that. You know, they all had this similar mixing style, and they all bounced off each other, and they all had these recipes which are so old school yet so good. I mean, that Tic Tac is so close to the real thing. It's fucking insane.
Yeah.
You know,
Mark Hansen makes a good point there. Banana cream from Loran. It says on it not ideal for vaping. That's why you use the colorless, because that one's okay for vaping. And that's where, like, I fear that if flavor bans go in, that you're going to have people that are going to go to the craft shop, or they're going to go to Walmart.
Yeah,
and you're just going to get
exactly.
this stuff.
Yeah.
Or this grocery store and use like that, you know.
Yeah, use like
Propel or
McCormick. Yeah, McCormick flavor. I remember Jen Winstead talking about that it was something that she did in the very beginning, not knowing any better. And fortunately,
Michelle,
she lived to talk about it. But
I think Hick is a she.
Yeah, Hidden Clouds is a woman.
I think, I don't know.
I'm almost positive.
Pretty sure that we made that up. That Manson put that out on In the Mix a while ago. I mean, that's been long enough. We could probably admit that.
I wonder if it's a combination of a couple of people.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Lars.
You're saying conspiracy theory, heads in cloud.
Yeah.
Oh.
Fidalgo saying he. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, because Hidden Clouds does have a flavor pack at a recipe pack at Bull City.
Or so the Germans would have you believe.
You sure it's the Germans and not the Russians?
Or the Russians. Same.
It's the East Germans.
We're not getting into this. So we got banned on Twitch last time we talked about this.
So I'm just going to put in the chat my favorite old recipe, the one that got me into mixing. And I mixed the shit out of this thing. Oh my gosh.
Sorry, Tam. Lars started ELR as a result of Reddit. So everything was happening on Reddit, and Lars coded up the first, I think it was the very first calculator that was online.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a frosted strawberry Pop-Tart.
Oh my gosh.
Like they could be the same.
And then I would take this recipe when I finally started experimenting. This is the recipe. Like I would listen to DIY or Die, the different shows like beginner mixing, and that was on the replays. And you got to try jungle flavor strawberry. You got to try, Inawera shisha strawberry. I would hear all these different things. And which one was it? Oh, jungle flavor. No. Flavor are berry, whatever, berry.
Forest mix?
What?
The forest mix?
Yes, forest mix.
Yeah.
So then I start mix that, Michelle, mix it. It is, I vape that for 6 months straight.
Yeah, I
without
can mix
anything.
It too.
The forest mix used to be called Mad Fruit, right?
No.
No?
What was it
called?
Mad Fruit's a Red Bull one, isn't it?
Yeah, Mad Fruit's its own thing.
But then I started switching out the strawberries for different strawberries. And then I would leave out the strawberries and put in forest fruit and just do different things like that. Just start playing with different flavors and stuff. And then I start I might could start really doing this. Now that I'm doing this, changing recipes, I wonder if I could build a recipe. So it took me a while of doing this kind of stuff to get my feet wet. Because there was Wayne and DIY or Die, but there wasn't a lot of groups like we have now.
No.
And little chat groups where you could go chat with people and.
Well, see, I started mixing. I did some Google foo and started searching for make vape juice, right? And like a few flavors came up and they were all ELR. And I'm like, fuck this joint. That's not where I can fucking buy them. Like, so I was getting really shitty there. Every time I, put a strawberry flavor in or whatever, would come up with this ELR thing. And I was mixing, singles and doubles for probably a year before I joined ELR, because I got sick of seeing ELR coming up in my search results. So I joined and go, oh, this is cool. And that's the day everyone's stash just goes freaking insane. I've got to have this to make this and this to make that. So it was more of a frustration thing that I actually joined ELR, because it just kept popping up in front of me more than anything else. But the funny thing is, I had, I don't know, maybe 40 flavors or so. And
so you're the single mix recipe guy.
Yeah, I was when I first started. Yeah, I didn't put them up on ELR. I just had them in a notebook, and then I found out all about this single flavor testing. I said, "Fuck, that's what I've been doing for the last year."
Right.
And I got all excited when I managed to get 2 in a. I'd get a bit daring and put maybe 3 concentrates in at the same time. And so like ELR drove me a bit nuts in the start, when I didn't quite realize what the hell it was. But geez, I tell you what, it changed the way I thought about mixing when I was young and stuff. It just all of a sudden things just popped, and I just went, oh shit, this is a real thing. Because in Australia at the time there was nothing. There was no flavor shops. There was very few vape shops. And it was a case of, what can I use to make this stuff flavored? And there was no idea about oils or anything like that. I ordered a bunch of LA off eBay, and they're all right. And then all of a sudden I started seeing that, no, you probably shouldn't vape them. I'm like, oh, okay. So, but it's interesting how people fell into mixing, because in Australia everyone who vapes still mixes their own nicotine, so they're not far off mixing anyway. And so if you're going to be putting a nicotine shot in your juice, well, hell, you may as well just start from scratch and start building your own stuff.
Yeah. What's up, Vape Bachelor? Happy holidays to you, brother. And Mike, which what one are you looking for? I mean, because if you're not able to click on a link, just tell us in the chat. You tell what the one that Tam just put up. I can share a screen on it real quick, so you can screenshot it.
Oh, is that the Pop-Tart, Tam?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, I've got that up on screen still. So that's the Pop-Tart recipe that Tam was just talking about. Let's zoom in if I can manage to get that right.
You're missing Flavor West sweetener. What's wrong with you? Do you
mix? Oh, gee, how could that happen? I actually don't have any sucralose at all. Zero. So I don't have.
I've got a tow truck sitting right outside mine.
Don't have TPA. Don't have Flavor West. The only sweetener that I've got, which is a commercial sweetener, is Sweetness by Flavora.
Okay.
And other than that, I use my own concoction. But have you got it, Mike? Just let me know, mate.
Yeah, he got it.
Yep, beautiful. So, yeah. Oh, Fresh has snuck in. How are you, buddy?
Fresh.
I've got a tow truck sitting right outside my place. So I'm muted and just hanging out for a minute until they leave.
At least we know they're not repoing your car. You didn't bring one out there.
They can try and get after my bicycle. I'll stick them in the face with a steak knife.
Oh yeah, you just split them in half. Maybe like because of Fresh talking earlier, I started watching The Witcher. I could just picture Fresh just turning into that guy and just carving somebody up and just taking their bones out, just ripping their spine right out from under them. Yeah, anybody who hasn't watched it yet, if you're into that medieval, really gory shit, it's pretty good.
I sort of got right into a few episodes.
The Witcher. on Netflix.
On
The
Netflix.
Wizard?
Witcher.
Witcher.
Like a witch with an ER at the end. It's like a male witch, supposedly. The guy's freaky as hell.
Oh.
He's like immortal.
Check that out.
So, I think Mike Vape and Trucker got roped into watching that one as a, and yeah,
He's
I think
Superman?
well, he's a cross between a person and
And
some
immortal.
sort of immortal thing or something. I don't know. I haven't quite worked that out yet. The timeline
No,
seems to
Michelle
jump around
Hughes
a
says
bit.
he's hot. Like,
The timeline does jump around a lot in that show. Like it takes a minute to figure out, like if you're not aware of the sequence, having read the books.
ooh.
Okay. Oh, okay. I didn't know there were books with it. So yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, there's a lot of it jumps around a lot because you're watching things happening in the present, and then you're seeing how everything wound up that way in the past.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wait a minute. I thought she died like an episode ago.
Yeah. I thought I was watching them out of sequence at one stage. I'm like, what the?
Yeah, I think
What's
I watched the
this
first
back?
3 of them this evening, late this afternoon, early this evening.
It does have the biggest earwig of a song that I've heard in a long time, because that song's been running through my head since I heard it the first time. So.
What's up, KBN? KBN's getting ready to move east. He's getting out of Vegas. There wasn't enough room in Vegas for
He's
both
going
him and Graham.
to Tennessee?
Yeah, he's going to Nashville area, Cookville, I think it is.
Now, someone mentioned that Flavor Shack shut down their storefront. They're still doing.
God damn it! Did they really?
Yeah, apparently the store shop, the storefront.
It was on
shut down.
Facebook. They closed their doors.
I was gonna walk there today too. I'm out of VG.
Yeah, the brick and mortar closed, so it's still doing online orders, from what I understand.
You can get it posted to you, Graham. That'd be economical.
What? Yeah, right.
$20 and I'll just walk around the corner to your house.
You guys had to check halftime. Ohio State's leading Clemson 16-14.
Quicker than ECI.
Actually, now Fresh is in the house. We could we were talking old school mixes. Fresh's strawberry milkshake from June 16, 2015.
Yeah. That was the first mix I ever mixed.
It was probably the second or third I mixed too that was off ELR. So thanks, Fresh.
To this day, I still have nightmares about mixing all those strawberry fucking milkshakes to get to that version.
Yeah, because then you mix like a whole ton of them. Like you mix it for somebody else.
Like no, like I'll show you the steep line. This is I'm always talking about the steep line. That's the steep line.
Oh, okay.
I had more than that of strawberry milks.
Oh, what are they? 60
I
bottles?
remember that clearly. Like,
Graham,
what's up, brother?
good seeing you, man.
That's like right around when
But that's the thing about a recipe like that is you come out the other side a much stronger mixer. Good, he's leaving.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier about how nowadays you don't even hear about people flavor bending because they don't have to.
No, you really don't.
Right.
Really don't. It's nice, but I mean, there's something to be said for the classics that still hold up. FA Red Touch.
Yeah,
that was one of the first strawberries I ever bought, and I still use it all the time.
Yeah, that was in my very first order because of you and Brian.
FA Blackcurrant.
Yes, actually, for the longest time, because of my bottle of it was from Nick River, I thought I had FA Blackcurrant, but it was TFA Blackcurrant.
Because they listed as FA on the label.
Yeah, and then I realized one day I'm like, oh shit! So then I ordered it from Bull City and got the right one, and hadn't touched the other one since until like.
I remember vaping Black Currant, FA Black Currant, just by itself for like about 6 months, just straight single shot.
Like 2%, Steve.
Loved it.
Yeah.
No, this was back in the day when you still had the silica wicks going on. Crap.
Oh, so you're like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Mark, you want that? I can grab that real quick.
But I mean that mix fresh still holds up really well today, even though it's at 22%. It still holds up quite nicely.
The strawberry milkshake?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I mixed it. It's been over a year, but I mixed it for me, that's not long ago, I suppose. I mean, I wasn't as pleased with it as I was at the time, but I remember why I was so pleased with it. Just because I'd gone through so much to get the recipe that I wanted, to get it to taste as good as I could get it to taste at the time.
Yep.
And so I was really proud of that recipe. And every once in a while, someone will write me a shit review on it. And I'm like, the first thing I say is, dude, this came out in like 2016 or 2015, whenever I released it. I'm like, dude, this came out forever ago. Number one. Number two, I don't think you let it steep. You gotta let it steep for like 7 days at least. And three, you're not looking at you don't understand what it was like to go through to get a recipe to taste like this.
Yeah, and like, yeah, back, this is what we were saying earlier on, and even on Mike's show, that nowadays the more complex flavors come out as a single flavor. Like, I mean, realistically, the difference between that and say real flavor strawberry milkshake, what a single mix of that. You know, you're comparing apples to oranges when you've got to actually make it from scratch versus get a complex flavor and just throw it in at 2.5%. You're all good to go.
Yeah.
And the craft is sort of being lost a little bit because of that, but it's also got that upside, is that it's easier for people to pick up.
It is. It's a lot easier to pick up, but if you want that side of DIY is still there. Like if you're really looking for hunting a super authentic profile instead of just throwing something together quick, which it's easy to throw something together quick for people these days.
Oh, yeah.
But that side of DIY is still there, hunting for that mix and getting this particular note. That's the reason to this day, I still don't have a pineapple upside down cake that I'm super happy with. Can you see her?
Yeah, it's just poking in the corner.
The ridiculousness of this cat. She came to say hi. She's an internet kitty. She came to say hi to her people.
Pet me.
I'm gonna start. I'm telling you, I'm gonna start a YouTube channel for her called Pet Me I'm Famous.
Oh hell yeah! You'll probably get 100,000 subs in like 6 months.
Probably.
It's not vaping.
And it would just be all I would have to do is just sit here and wait. Just start a stream and wait for her to show up.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Mimi? Now he's coming back the other way. Thank you, Mr. Tow Truck.
What was your first mix that you released publicly, Fresh?
The first mix I released publicly. Holy shit! Let me go look.
Oh, here I'll nail it for you. I'll get it real quick. Addie's Custard, February 28th, 2015.
That's right. Yeah, that would have been because that was I asked Addie, like, hey, is it okay if I release your recipe, man?
And then the next one's Max VG Key Lime Pie.
That was a big hit too.
The next day, and the other strawberry milkshake.
Yeah, that the quick one. At the time, that was a quick one.
Yeah, and this is the one I mixed. We had the MTS Vape Wizard, and that's the only time I've ever used that flavor.
Yep.
At 0.6, strawberry ripe at 4, sweet cream at TFA sweet cream at 2.7, sweet strawberry at 3, vanilla cupcake DX at 4, and whipped cream at 1.3.
Oh, what the fuck was I thinking?
53-47 VGPG ratio.
I actually went back when I heard what the show was about, and I found a mix that at the time I thought was fantastic, and it was creme de menthe, Kahlua, and cream.
Oh.
And like it at the time, for me, that tasted fantastic. I'm like, this shit is the bomb. And I go back to it now, and I've got like 10% TPA Kahlua in it. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
How could that have tasted good? I might actually hunt down that and see if I can actually do a remix of it with today's concentrates, because just see if I can make it as terrible, as good as I thought it was. But
Well, that's like when I look at Nashef's sweet tea mix and it's got 10% TFA sweet tea, and I'm just like, what the heck? What? That is one flavor where it still works today using it that hot.
I mean, we were just talking about that Steve-O's recipe, that grape juice.
Yeah.
Like just ramming that grape juice hard down your throat. But I mean, a lot of times it's still all the old tricks are still super viable. I mean, Winstead still does the old school cream fresh Vienna cream to make ice cream.
Yeah.
And it's a fantastic combination. And it's I don't know if it's true ice cream, but it's a good approximation. It's better than the vanilla beans are.
Well, the only thing about the only flavor of Vienna cream, you just gotta wait forever on it before you get rid of the nail polish.
You just gotta wait for that acetone to die out.
Yes. Yeah, and if you try shake and vape something that has like more than like 1 or 2, like around 1 or 2% of that Vienna cream in it, oh, it's a bad day. You may not even want to go back to it after it does sweep because you're like afraid of it.
Nevins, your pretty face is being so quiet. I don't know what to think, man.
It's late for him. But
It's like 4 a.m.
Yeah, it is late for me.
All right. Then, I mean, to be fair, I'm not sure you were born before most of the TPA flavors hit the market. So
My looks are deceiving. I am 29.
oh, so you were born? Oh, so you were born on the day Strawberry Ripe was released. Okay.
Yeah. We share the same birthday.
That's sad. My oldest is 29.
so now, Nick, you've got to call Frank Dad.
Yeah.
Daddy Frank.
Actually,
29.
I do have a little gift for him.
Oh.
Is that the regular or the lemon? That's the regular, isn't it?
Yeah, that's lemon. It's
Oh, that's
one
lemon.
shot,
Oh God.
1 shot concentrate.
Ooh.
oh, that's the one-shot version.
Yeah.
So if you have like a wood coffee table, you just put that on there and just wipe it off and you're
Polish it
good.
right up. To be fair, it doesn't smell too bad, but the taste is pledge.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Same
I
as
tried. I even gave it a second chance and tried it with like a different build and a different RDA, and it was like not as pledgy, but it still was there.
Yeah, but
You
that's the
chuck
thing.
that-
If you try and cut it down by using a build that's less flavorful, you're not going to get the custard anyway, so it's pretty pointless, isn't it?
Well, actually, I was trying to use something just like maybe a build that had better flavor, better RDA, thinking maybe okay, well, I was just using like a little 22 millimeter single, round wire dual coil, and
Yeah.
yeah.
You thought you polished your coil with pledge.
Yeah. Yeah, and the coil came out really shiny.
Yeah. You got to clean your RDA. It's all good.
Yeah.
They don't use sweetener either, do they?
No, they probably use sweetener.
I don't think there's any sweetener in it. I think
Yeah.
it's not sucralose anyway.
Yeah, I think it's a sweet pledge.
Sweet pledge. Nice.
Yeah, Michelle, my oldest is 29 and my youngest, she'll be 17 here in a couple weeks.
So what sort of old school mixes did you guys throw up before I got in here? That's right.
Oh.
Now I've gone to now I've got Swaggy Shane. I've gone from ramming things down people's throat, cucumbers, to now we've hit the vomit stage. So we're going full face fucking tonight.
Well,
At least
basically
what I
what
want.
we just went to like the front page of we go to ELR and just go like the highest rated ones because they're all from like 2015, 16, 17.
That's why my name's up on a lot of them. Because it was me, Rin Vapes, Jennifer Jarvis, Jennifer Winstead.
Yeah, Jarvis has the number 2 one.
That was it. And Head and Clouds. Head and Clouds was still out doing stuff.
And Jarvis has one on here. This has 3% TFA sweetener, and it says if you want it sweeter, you can use up to 5%. It's like, oh,
Yep. I mean, that's how shit was done, and that's still the industry fucking standard a lot of times. Is that like at least 3% sweetener? Which
oh yeah.
That's why your coils get killed. That's why,
Yeah,
that's why there's a massive market for replaceable coils.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
killer,
if you-
killer for all the sub owners out there, which
Like if you look at some of the notes on
never really
Rhodonite,
thought, people never really thought about the vicious circle that there is in vaping. Like throwing all that sweetener in, it's going to kill the coils. So you're vaping this commercial juice that's got 3 or 4% sweetener in it. You're
I think this might be
burning through a TFV V72 coil every week. You're going and paying $12 for that thing. So it's just a vicious circle.
Yeah, I'm looking at Rhodonite, and Rhodonite's like the only mix I've ever seen of Wayne's that doesn't have 0.5% super sweet.
True. My roommate actually took Rhodonite and made it way flipping better. Like her version of Rhodonite's just crazy good, and she made Wayne vape it, and he was like, "That's really good."
Graham, are you still going to do the remix of Rhodonite using wild raspberry?
Oh, medicine flower.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I think that might work, dude. That might actually work. It would probably work better. I hate Molina.
Amazing.
You could get Wayne on the show, mate, as a return fire for the blush.
Yeah, we can make it better. I think we can make Rhodonite better, right?
Yeah, Friction, you did good getting the Mullenberry big watermelon. That's a really good watermelon.
It is a good watermelon. I don't know if it's as good as Perlium's, but it's mighty fine.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's one of the few watermelons that doesn't have that rindy back note that you get.
Yeah, if you need that, you can always just add melon rind.
Yeah.
I guess I can talk about that mix now since I didn't actually go forward with it. But I was trying to do a blackcurrant jackfruit watermelon lemonade.
Ooh.
And I could not get it to work with the restrictions that I had. So it was the ones that I have that are like 9 ingredients are really good, but I just could not get it to work. I could not get it to work with the restrictions I had. So I didn't wind up going forward with that one. I did something else. But I was a lot happier with the thing that I came up with at the end anyway.
Oh, good.
But we should do something like collaboratively. Who wants to collaborate with me? Let's make like an old school fucking cheesecake or something.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's me too, Sport. I've got about 50 chat windows open on Facebook.
That's what I was known for back in the day is cheesecakes and custards.
There it goes again.
Oh, that's you making all that.
Yeah.
I'm going. Do I have a message? I'm like, that's not me.
Just fucking with everyone. Ping, ping, ping. It's all good.
Oh,
Some of the old cheesecakes, though, fresh, are awesome. I do like.
They
them.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah, those 5% TFA cheesecake with graham crust. What else? You gotta throw like either vanilla custard V1 or old school TFA cheesecake in it. You got to, right, Mimi?
Mm.
The show stealers.
The old New York.
I still like using New York cheesecake as a cannoli filling.
New York cheesecakes, yeah, it's really nice. Or Bavarian cream. Got to throw TFA Bavarian cream in. Or you could use Flavor West, I suppose. Flavor West,
Yeah.
their Bavarian cream's old enough to count.
Oh yeah, that counts. Yeah, and like if you have like the New York cheesecake and throw in, well, it wouldn't count for this, but either the what do you call it, the Hankson Italian cream, or like I've done that one, or you can use now the mascarpone.
Yeah.
But you want to use the mascarpone a little lower than you would in other things, because there's already like a butyric note in that New York cheesecake that could really go crazy if you throw it at mascarpone in there too high.
Before mascarpone was created, did anybody try to use flavor bending to try and make a mascarpone?
Oh yeah. I used
Lorenz cream cheese
New York and Italian cream. The Hankson
almond,
Italian
right?
cream to do
Yeah.
it.
The Italian cream pushes it nicely too.
Oh yeah.
I'm
going stupid high with that stuff.
I don't think
that.
I don't think about that flavor often enough.
Yeah.
It's awesome as a cheesecake booster.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Just down low, just to give that cheesecake a little bit of extra punch. It's a fantastic flavor. And It's probably.
This
I don't
was
know whether
Flavor
it's
West
super
yogurt.
popular. Yeah,
Yeah,
Flavor
Flavor
West
Rush yogurt's really nice.
You could probably throw in. I mean, not an old school, but you could probably throw in the Flavora Greek a little bit too, if you went just enough to push it as well. But I mean, if you want really cheesy cheesecake, you can't go past 0.1% of real flavors. Fuck me, that shit's strong.
So Sin,
Sin. What's up, Sin? Haven't seen you in a minute. He's not here. Yeah, like I just finally ordered a
donut
Flavor
vapes. I just thought about old school donut vapes. Jesus.
Oh,
Sin.
What did they usually consist of? Zappola?
No.
Wow.
No,
Zappola's
Zappola, when Zappola came out, there was a donut revolution. That's when you saw all
Yeah.
the donut mixes come out.
Yeah.
Because it was so much better than anything else that had been put out, and the steep time was so much less.
Yeah. Was
Didn't Zappola and WoW come out at the same time?
I think Zappola came out before WoW.
Here's my roommate.
yeah.
glazed donut. Let's use TFA glazed donut, and we'll be back in 2 months to let you know how the mix turned out.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've never even seen that flavor.
TFA glazed.
TFA glazed donut. No.
Once you let it steep out, it's not bad, but that's the problem with it. It's the steep time. So
Yeah,
it's
you,
like
you put it
it's
away
like
and you
vanilla
forget
custard
about it.
V1.
And you find it, 2 years later, and you're like, what is this? The writing's all worn off the bottle.
What's up, Sam? Speaking of
She's
Sam,
drinking lemon seltzer here, or fresh.
raspberry lemon. I'm doing raspberry lemon tonight. I'm back in a sec.
Use medicine.
Donut flavoring old school. I'd roll with the cinnamon Danish swirl.
Yeah, if you want to go that way, you can even use like some Flavor West yellow cake. Flavor donuts. Flavor donuts. Yeah, thank God we have that now. That just makes it easy.
That's horrible shit.
Which one, Nick?
It's like a beer sandwich, that is.
Yeah,
What, the
put a little
Flavor
bit
donut?
of-
Yeah.
Yeah. Put some what is that? Damn
You're
it.
really low, Graham.
Yeah, I know. I'm a mess.
He doesn't want to wake the person in next bed.
Oh, is that what
No,
it
no,
is? Okay.
No, I'm in a new spot, but you hear the train out there? It's like 1 inch from my window. So
Oh,
that
geez.
works.
I've closed my
why I was
Facebook
low.
now. So be happy now, mate.
Salubro beignet. I did not get that one
No.
before Bull City stopped carrying it.
Yeah, Natalie, you don't need to try that.
Yeah, Flavor donuts. If you use it super low and mix it with other things, you might be able to do something with it. But
I was like, is he being funny about Flavor donuts? What?
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm reading this going, where's the LOL haha? Like what?
Mark Hansen, Flavor West yellow cake with cereal 27 sort of worked.
I don't get how you can make something.
Okay,
like
there
that
we go.
and
I
then
feel
put it
better
on
now.
sale.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't get how you can make something like that and then go, yeah, we're going to sell that.
There has to be a percentage it works at. I haven't found it. There has to be one, aside from naught.
I'm gonna go and check Smokey's ELR.
There you go.
I'm not.
See where she used it. Some show about the best and worst donuts. There you go.
Use
Well,
it as 0.01.
chocolate glazed donut if you want. Play-Doh.
Cap chocolate glazed donut. Yeah.
Yeah, I never bothered
Band-Aids.
getting that when I have the flavor art chocolate glazed donut because it's like a million times better.
Yeah, she used it as 0.2.
She
What,
used it that high.
0.2?
Or 0.02.
With sweet dough, with fried dough.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a rum one there.
did she really mix that or just slap it together and put it out?
It looks like she just slapped it together.
Oh. Oh, now Chef was talking about flavored donuts. And yeah.
I was like, where's the comedy on that. And so then he finally said LOL. So 1 drop for 30 mil. Okay.
1 drop in the bin.
Yeah.
Is that how they do it? Is that how you use that flavor?
One
I've
drop
never
next
found,
to
I've
the
never
bottle.
found a
Just,
practical. I've never
You
found a
take your
practical
bottle here,
use.
drip it over here, and the flavor will waft over and just touch it a little bit.
You drill a hole in your bottle first and then drip it in.
I think if you leave that sit on your scale, it may burn through it.
Probably.
Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of that particular flavor.
That's one of the ones we always hassle Bryson about when we see him in person.
And he admits
Dude, what's up with that donut?
flavors that they need to that are bad.
Need to
You know,
discontinue and start
yeah.
over.
Well, that he knows that aren't the greatest.
Yeah. Yeah, like the waffle. I have the flavor of waffle. And
Yeah,
after I think I got it for free though, so it wasn't as bad. But it was like, why did you get that? I'm like, I don't know. It looked good.
Looked good at the time.
Yeah.
Maraschino cherry, here I come.
Wow, yikes.
And the
TK
crunch.
maraschino cherry at about 1 drop per 30 mil isn't terrible.
Yeah, it's not terrible, but I think when I first tested it, I tested it at about 1.5 and dry reached. So,
Oh, yeah.
Was not pleasant at all, and it sort of turned me off that flavor that I can't even pull it out of the cupboard anymore. So
And that's a flavor profile that you had to be like a freaking superstar expert mixer back in the day to be able to,
Anything, Jerry?
to be able to get it tasting decent.
Well, Big
Yeah.
Lou had probably the best cherry vape at the time, the AFC, the actual fucking cherry,
Yes.
and it didn't use cherry at all.
No, he just used other stuff to make a cherry.
Yeah. But
Didn't
that was
use
the
like
that's
cherry
the main
vapes.
thing.
There's better cherry flavors out there now than there used to be, but it's still
Oh,
a
there's
tough
a lot better cherry
Yeah.
flavors.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Inaware
close to
cherries,
right.
Mullenberry
Inaware
red
cherries
cherries.
is the old school Supremo.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
So
not
make
even
sure
that
it's
old.
the
It's
plural.
only like what 2.5 years, if that.
Yeah, probably somewhere around there,
2.5 years old.
2017.
And
Probably
it's
right
got
around
a
the time I
plural.
started.
Do not get just the cherry. Make sure it's got
No.
an S on
Yeah, make
Yes.
sure it's cherries, plural.
the end.
And you've got that Perillum chocolate cherry they came out with.
hmm
Mhm.
The tart cherry, the Capella tart cherry.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
That's a good one. The TFA cherry extract is actually really good.
Yes.
But
I
all
heard
those
that. I
are
don't have
those
that
are
one.
newer flavors.
Yeah.
Swaggy Shane
is
now.
it the bright cherry? Is it the Bing cherry? Bing cherry, though. Mullenberry.
Swaggy asks about that medicinal flavor. Yeah, don't vape cherry.
Yeah, I remember him dropping this bit of knowledge, and I wrote it down somewhere, and then I lost it, and he never got to try it. Drop it, Shane. Come on, spit it out. I'll write it down again.
What's Shane doing?
He's fixing a medicinal cherry.
Excuse me.
Yeah, drop the knowledge. You know what? Who's got it? That's zesty. Let me go find that recipe.
Does a lemon help a cherry?
I'd say coconut, but you know, I haven't had a huge
Shane
amount
say
of
you wait till I send it out to try it, so I guess he's already working on it. Yeah, that Wonder flavor, black cherry,
Black
jelly,
cherry jelly.
Black cherry jelly
bean.
bean. Yeah,
Yeah, it's not
that's a good one. I actually made like a rum and coke one with that.
Cherry's a tough one to get as a main note. Like it's easier to get a cherry sitting in behind and get a nice pleasant. But if you want a main note cherry, it's without turning it super horrid. It's a bit of a task. Well, for me anyway. And I think I've pretty much given up on cherries.
Cranberry helps.
But one day I'll go back. But
Addy Tooney has a nice little Trinity that helps him make. It's a darker cherry though. Uses
Yeah, he's got that dark cherry
the
too.
boysenberry with the forest mix with the Inaware cherries.
Oh yeah.
Well, what's this you just put out there first?
Yeah, I'll drop it in here too.
Oh, Zesties, yeah, the full aid.
Look at that recipe and tell me how it works. like nothing about the way that recipe's put together looks like it should work. But it tastes like cherry Kool-Aid, and there's no medicinal hint to it at all.
I'm thinking the sweet and tart must take the Robitussin out of it.
I don't know why. I don't know why it works, but yeah, we had him on the show, and because we were doing guests on Fresh from the Kitchen, I wanted to get Zesty on because me and Zesty,
Wow.
He's my eternal rival. So like we're friends, but every time we meet, we have to have a Naruto style face off. He's Sasuke to my Naruto. Anyway, but yeah, it doesn't seem like it should work. It doesn't seem like it should work at all. But it's amazing. And I don't know if it's is it the sweet and tart? I don't know if it's the sweet and tart that does it or what takes the Robitussin out.
That's the only thing I can think of in that. Because you think
super sweet with it.
Yeah, that's got to help, but
I don't have either one of those, Jerry.
I don't know, but you would think by itself that, and if you just threw the sweetener, that sweetener at it, you're just going to make a sweet Robitussin. So I'm thinking the
like Shane says, the cherry natural, when you use it by itself, like you can go Robitussin with it. Why didn't my camera do this again?
Focusing.
No, I told it not to. I specifically told it not to do this.
Maybe Zune's messing with it.
Yeah, Vape Train's cherry is not too bad either.
Yeah, Vape Train's cherry's not bad.
Do I have it? Giancarlo. Hello, Giancarlo.
Cherry filling. Flavora.
A touch of lemonade will take the bite out of a cherry. I could see that. Yeah, the acid. Vape Train Tart Mate. I don't know. I don't have that one.
Don't know what's in that one.
But you would think something like a citric acid might help with the medicinal.
Yeah, I don't know. I have actually used citric acid with cherries, and it doesn't take it out for me. It's one of those things that you sort of come back to, you circle back around to it, and have another crack at it sometime, and then circle back around to it, have another crack. It's
you try cranberry.
Well, have fun, Giancarlo.
I will.
Lining up magnets.
When I come back around the circle, mate, I'll have a crack with some cranberry. How many drops?
1%. Same amount of super sweet.
The old super sweet.
Oh, we lost Graham.
Well, your cherry Coke you could do now. You could do this 007 cola and just throw a little bit of vanilla and a little bit of no, it's got plenty of vanilla in it. A little bit of Anywhere cherries.
I did Wonder Flavors black cherry jelly bean with Wonder Flavors rum and cola.
That would be pretty nice, I bet.
That is tasty.
Does the 007 cola keep its fizz?
What's that?
Does it keep its fizz? The fizzy aspect to it.
The illusionary fizz.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little. I have a hard time tasting things that people say are fizzy.
Fizzy. Yeah, it's
I
more like
rarely, if ever, actually get it. So
it's kind of like a sharpness rather than a fizz.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my main issue with cola is I can't. It's like drinking a flat Coke.
Have you tried the 007?
I've got it up on my mix list, but I haven't actually made it yet. But,
he does a remarkable job with it. That old Alfred pudding.
Yeah.
Our shining star, who was here with us for like 6 months and then left.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, anytime you add anything to the 007, you lose a little. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, he definitely used his chemistry background on that one.
Yes, friction. That's the 007. He just basically assembled the ingredients for a cola and put it in vape form, it turned out remarkably well.
Yeah, it has what the Flavor West blood orange in it. Is that what's in it?
I'd have to
Yeah, let me pull it up.
pull it up. People are asking about it. Yeah. Or you can just use that real flavor soda base.
Yeah, which works.
It's a good. That's a
I
great
like that.
flavor.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the ones that crossed over to the new line.
I'll put it up, Frank. It's in chat.
With the 007?
Yep. It's a Flavor West blood orange.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Yeah, nah, chef. 21% rich cinnamon ends up tasting like Red Hots.
That's only for a day or two.
Yeah, 0.4 blood orange, 0.4 vanilla bourbon from Flavor Art, 3.5 vape train fizzy sherbet, 0.07. So I guess that is where the 007 comes from,
007.
of rich cinnamon, 1/4% super sweet, and 0.5% of WS23.
And that's actually quite a bit of rich cinnamon.
Yeah, it's like 2 drops. Yeah, 30 mil, maybe 3.
Closer to 3, yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, the last review on it, Hexical put amazing recipe, reminds me a lot of the bottle cap candy, honestly. Yeah, I could see that, I guess. I'd have to mix it and see. I bought stuff just to mix it, then never got around to mixing it.
Yeah. That's how it always goes.
Oh yeah. Because I think that was the only reason why I got the blood orange from Flavor West, because I already had blood orange from Flavor.
Yeah.
No, Flavor.
I don't have the Flavor West blood orange. Have to be
Night,
on
Nance.
my list. I'd probably just try it with a sub of the FA or real flavor, maybe. See how that rolls.
Oh, John Carlo, good root beer. Flavor Art root beer.
Flavor.
Yep.
Flavor Art root beer. Yeah, Flavor Art root beer. Done.
It tastes like Barks.
Yes.
Got bite.
I created one with Liquid Barn ice cream in it. Called it Root Beer Floaty.
Well,
That was good.
you can do like a couple just a couple percent of the Liquid Barn ice cream. Yeah, and it gets floaty. Or you can do like the Nikki B's trick. You can throw TFA sweet cream.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and that root beer floats things out. It's really good. Nikki B has a really good root beer float.
Yeah, she doesn't use Flavor in hers, so she uses TFA root beer.
Yeah, she uses TFA root beer, but you could certainly sub it out.
Yeah, and it'd be better because personally, I don't care for. I think TFA root beer gets a little too anise for me.
That Flavor root beer is amazing.
Yes.
I love that. Yeah, I paired it with Flavora's Marshmallow Vanilla, Liquid Barn Ice Cream, and Whipped Cream by Flavora.
Root beer.
Okay.
Flavor butterscotch, Flavor cream, Flavor milk chocolate, Flavor root beer, Flavor vanilla bean. Nice, chef. Round out the edges. I like it.
Ooh, let's check that out. Oh yeah.
I just ordered that milk chocolate.
I'm just missing that vanilla bean. That's it.
Yeah, I have that. I don't have the milk chocolate, but I will have it here probably next week. Making the most of that wrench. Well, it's only like 0.2% of the milk chocolate. I could see where that would settle things down.
You might actually be able to take that vanilla bean down a touch if you wanted to. 0.75, you could probably take it down to like a half if you wanted to. Probably be getting something similar.
Mullenberry red cherry. I like mullenberry red cherry. I haven't used it a lot, but I think it's a good cherry.
It is. I actually just finally sorted everything for the mullenberries. So just need to find a place on my shelves for it.
Yeah, I was gonna because I took like the old nail polish racks, like the 3-tier ones that I had, and I stuck them in the drawer. So the things are on the top shelf of it. In the back, I have a hard time getting to, and that's where I have my vape train. So I'm just gonna rip them out and maybe just set one here just for like my stuff that I'm working with like currently or something.
Just lay them down, Frank, and put them on drawer runners on the side and make a little cabinet for
Well, that's too much work.
them.
Marcelina sent you the new flavors yet?
No,
Oh,
no, she don't like me anymore.
No,
There's only room for one giant cucumber in her life.
I talked to her. I did talk to her. And said she has to keep an eye on how many things she's sending out because she's
Yeah,
gonna
you
go
gotta make
broke.
money somehow. Yeah, I get it. It's all good. I'm not mad at her.
I think she saw a picture of your Christmas pajamas and just went, no. No, he's not on the list anymore.
I definitely got put on the naughty list.
Well, if you get a
like
lump
me
of,
on the naughty list, though.
well, if you get a lump of coal from Mullenberry in the next couple of days, you'll know.
Yeah.
I see people still getting freebies from like Molenberry now. Yeah, just like random people off the group. You just get open like random packages and get Molenberries. You don't see anything of them again. They don't make recipes with it or nothing. They just
Yep, thank you. Bye.
yeah. Cheers for that.
Yeah, I saw that. I know who you're talking about, and you never see published recipes. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You know, if you're gonna hold back and say that you're losing money, you don't give it to people that are
Nice, Luke. Yeah, Greta Thunberg got a lump of coal for Christmas.
Jeez.
How dare you! How dare you!
I can see Greta Thunberg and that cat.
Oh God. Smudge the cat.
Yeah.
I have a friend of mine. He puts out the raunchiest ones. It's hysterical.
Oh. Dean?
Huh?
Dean?
No, not Dean. No.
Yeah, Dean's descriptions are brilliant. You just sit there and go, okay.
And I got a friend of mine. It's funny. I grew up with his older brother in Jersey, and he works for the sheriff's department here in the county. Does a prisoner transport, which around here is usually a lot of them.
Yeah. So interesting year in vape space, though. Just to
Yeah, overall, you can kind of say it sucked because we just had to work so damn hard this year. It took away from a lot of, recipe development and that, just constantly fighting with politicians on Twitter. And trying not to just tell them they're fucking assholes, but still want to keep an edge and let them know that I'm not happy with them, but not be vulgar at the same time. When you just want to reach through your phone and grab them by the throat.
just go, what fucking right have you got to tell me?
yeah.
And someone summed it up perfectly for me the other day. Until they fucking take alcohol and smokes off the shelf, they've got absolutely no right to get into the vape space at all, realistically.
No.
But
Well, I mean, we know what happens if you take alcohol off the shelves. The country developed our country anyway, developed severe alcoholism. So,
well, can you imagine what would happen to Australia? This place has a whole beer economy. I mean, you can say to your mate, come around and help me build a friggin' building. I'll give you $20 an hour. I'll tell you to fuck off. You say there's free beer at the end of the day. Oh yeah, mate, I'm there. The whole economy.
How can I pay you? Give me a slab of beer.
Yeah, gives a slab. You'll be right.
Yeah.
The whole black economy runs on beer.
I mean, that's what I did. I changed the guy's oil, and he goes, "Well, how much money do you want?" I said, "Nah, get me a slab of beer." That's all good.
I've never heard that term, a slab of beer.
Yeah.
What do you guys call them? Like a brick?
Yeah, they call it a slab.
like when you get 24 cans, it's a slab.
Yeah, case. It's a case.
A case. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're a slab.
Yeah, up in Canada, it is called a 2-4.
Luke Loop, I did not have the vanilla custard 2 yet.
I just ordered it.
People have been saying really nice things about it. But I do have the Wonder Flavors
Vanilla custard.
Custard. It's very Dis One-ish. That's what I will say about it. It's a little bit brighter than Dis One, but it's right up that same genre. of custard. And it's only a 4-day steep, so it goes up there on the list. It goes up there on the list as far as best custards. I'd put it.
Simon ruined me with that cookie butter. He's like, dip your finger in it and taste it.
I haven't mixed with it yet because I just keep doing that. So.
Yeah, so do I, man. I've done a single flavor test and I've got a couple of recipes sorted out, and I just keep getting the bottle, put it on my fucking hand.
He's like, knuckle it, just knuckle it. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, oh shit. No, I don't want to put it down.
As a whole, I'm pretty impressed with Wonder Flavors custards. I quite like all of them. You know.
Yeah, I've been super duper impressed. That lemon custard though.
Yeah. Same.
Do you
lemon.
find the lemon a little on a light side on that?
It is.
Yeah.
It is, but it's easy enough to build up the body of a lemon, especially since it's super high.
Yeah.
It's super high up front. So
FE lemon.
2 to 2.5.
Little FE. You could do some sour lemon. Sour lemon would go lovely with that. You could throw that's where that lemon bar would come in nicely. It's a similar lemon, but that the lemon bar's lemon sits more.
Oh, the lemon squares.
Lemon squares, yeah.
Yeah, the wonderful was it
That
lemon
squares, that lemon sits a little bit more in the middle, so those two go really nicely together.
Chug it with some flappy and happy days.
Flappy.
Coming to say hi to your people. Say hi to your people.
You say flappy lemon custard. You can make that, Nick.
Flappy. I've probably already
lemon
done.
custard.
It's probably already done.
He's purring away.
Aw.
Because I'm on the camera.
Yeah, they won't. They'll never ban cigarettes.
Could make a lemon tart with them too, to be honest.
We were talking about earlier. Have you seen that over here? They have a. It looks like the Skull Bandit type things, little nicotine pouches. It's not tobacco though. It's something else, and they have like 4 milligram and 8 milligram nicotine. They're calling them Velo. It's like a flavored. They have like a citrus and a couple other flavors. It looks interesting. I guess the kids are starting to do them now, so you don't get caught with the jewels.
I mean, that's over in Norway and Sweden and
the snus,
the little snus packets.
Mm-hmm.
They've been doing it for
basically what it is. I guess this one, I think it's RJ that's making it. RJ Reynolds making this one, the Velo. Like when I pump gas, they have a little TV screen there with all the advertisements on it. That's the first thing that comes up is Velo. And there's billboards for it.
Sorry, Frank. Luke
that'll be the next epidemic, right? The thing that helped Norway quit smoking almost completely.
Yes.
So there you go. It's already been done fresh. You got flappy, got your lemon custard, lemon squares. Boom.
Wow. That's a lot of lemon.
I was just glad to see all the flavors.
One pie crust. Whose recipe is that?
Luke.
That's Luke Luke's.
That's Luke Luke's.
Yeah.
Good looking recipe, Luke Luke.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
Alcohol is way more destructive than vaping ever will be.
Fuck yeah.
What did he name it?
It's called breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I think. Yeah,
the breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yes, Nick. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, the worst yet.
There we go. Yeah, I like that Mullenberry lemon.
I never got
it. No, I was thinking the vape train lemon tart. Yeah, I don't think I had the Mullenberry lemon tart. That's one
of
of the new ones, right?
The new one.
Yeah. Yeah, Bull City doesn't even have them yet. When they have their promo pack, it's all the one shots.
It's nice, but it's more of a lemon cake.
Okay, so it's different.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a lemon bar, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not a tart. It's more like
nothing like the Flavora pound cake, right? It has a little lemon note in it.
No,
you get a lemon note from Flavora pound cake.
Yeah, I get coconut on the edges for the first couple days, but then after that it steeps right out.
Yeah, I don't get lemon at all.
Okay,
it's more like Wonder Flavors, lemon bars, or lemon squares.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something Wonder Flavors have done with their lemon though, because it's a kind of a unique lemon. There's no one else has a lemon that's quite like those two. I really do like it, but and Luke, thanks for that, mate, because I'll be making that sometime this week, I think, bud.
Oh no, that's okay.
It's pretty tasty.
Oh yeah, it does look real good. All right, good. Clemson got a touchdown. They're up 21-16.
I couldn't mix if I wanted to right now. I got a kitty that decided she was gonna be a lap kitty, and she doesn't decide to do this very often. Take advantage. Take advantage of the lap kitty.
Yeah, there's one sitting on the ottoman.
As your little kitten going there, Frank? She getting bigger?
Oh, little? Yeah, she's not little anymore.
She thinks she is.
It's funny because we've got two cats and they look exactly the same. They're both just black cats, brothers, and we've got two dogs. One's he's only one, but he hasn't worked out which cat likes him yet because one cat likes him, one cat hates him. So he goes up to say hello to it, and one of them will just smack him in the face with a claw, and the other will just rub up against him. It's so classic to watch.
Oh, that's like the three cats that we had before this one all hated Ellie. Just her size and everything and all her energy, they don't want nothing to do with her. The kitten now, they're buddies.
Yeah, well, I mean, both our dogs are fairly large, Great Dane crosses. So
yeah, it's a little on the larger side.
Well, one's 87 kilos, and the 1-year-old he's about 49, I think, at the moment. So they're getting up there.
They got some size.
But watching the puppy interact with the kittens the cats is freaking hilarious every single time.
Yeah, it's resting in prohibition of anything doesn't work.
Absolutely not.
I said that yesterday on Twitter. I said we're getting ready to go into the Roaring 20s. Let's not make the same mistake they made last time.
Yeah, pretty much.
The Roaring 20s was born out of prohibition.
Mm.
That's where alcohol dependence and alcohol abuse started. It didn't used to be a big thing.
Yeah, but when you took it away from people, all of a sudden they wanted it.
There was always drunks, but it became a really big problem.
That and some of the homemade shit was killing people.
Yep.
They're basically drinking gasoline.
Funnily enough, some of the homemade shit is still killing people.
Mm-hmm.
So. But
it's frustrating that either they don't give a shit about their mistakes or they don't learn by them. I don't know what it is.
It's money.
Look in
That's
history.
what it comes down to. It's all money.
Yeah.
It's all money.
Yeah,
They just haven't worked out a way to make money off of it yet.
I mean, even the current administration, they were talking about that, basically the user fee or whatever that they were going to get the manufacturers to pay. It's like, that ain't going to happen. They claim they're going to raise $10 billion that way. No.
Yeah, and people who think something's going to happen, you're not watching how things are going to go. They don't have to do anything. Nobody does.
No.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. And that's why I was a little bit skeptical on the Trump flavor ban that they were talking about, just before Christmas.
I don't think he ever had any intention.
Why would he spend political points when he can just wait? And
why alienate a voting base? And because all he has to do is sit back and wait 6 months, and it takes care of itself. We should all still burn though.
Yeah, wasn't me. I didn't do it.
Supporting us.
Yeah,
but he's known for throwing outlandish things out there and just putting it on the table and leaving it.
Yeah,
I was actually fairly impressed with him during the vape conference.
The first thing he said though,
actually let Mitt Romney in there.
Yeah, the first thing he said though was, "Can't we just let the states handle it?" And it's like, no, because we're already fighting 50 battles plus 51 battles. You want to throw the federal government in there? It's like we'll still be fighting 50 battles. You just leave it up.
No,
to
I mean we could absolutely let states handle it. We absolutely could, because I mean it's not like the majority of states have a vape ban going.
No,
they might be. The majority of people are trying to figure out a way to tax it. Let them fucking tax it. If we can
make it reasonable.
have our stuff.
I mean, look at Ohio. They have a 10%. Remember, 10 cent per milliliter. New Jersey's 10 cent a milliliter. The only ones that doesn't hurt is like Juuls. That's 7 cents.
Yeah.
I know Georgia's talking about doing something in the next term, with the
Yep, they're talking about flavor ban.
yeah.
Yeah, Rob Kite, once the PMTA gets in full force over in the States, you watch what Greg Hunt does in Australia, mate, because he will come down on shit like a ton of bricks in a similar sort of manner.
Yeah. And that's happening in May. That's why I keep saying that you're not going to see a flavor ban. He doesn't have to.
No.
And we should hold him accountable for this shit, because he could put a stop to it.
Yeah, the Attorney General here in North Carolina, he mentioned flavor ban once, and we haven't heard a single word from him since, because they may have killed him and put him in the woods somewhere. I don't know, because we haven't heard a single word about him on anything since. Not just that, just nothing at all.
Night, Natalie.
Well, Greg Hunt's actually had a press conference it was probably about 6 weeks ago, talking about referring non-nicotine e-liquid to the chief medical officer for full testing to make sure that people aren't going to die from it. So, that's his prequel to a flavor ban. Northern Territory have just basically outlawed nicotine, vaping, everything. It is now illegal in Northern Territory to vape. End of story. So
crazy.
You sort of just scratch your head and just go, such a missed opportunity, dickheads.
Yeah, Michelle's right about Alabama too. Alabama is a very pro-vaping state as well. They have very good organization there. Tennessee, here in North Carolina, we have probably one of the best. But then you look all around, like South Carolina's talking flavor ban. Virginia was one of the first ones to go T21, but they put an exemption in for military. But the federal T21 does not have an exception for military.
No, it does not.
Old enough to die for your country, old enough to smoke. You're either an adult or you're fucking not. Like, you're either able to make an informed decision or you're not. So if you can't make an informed decision about smoking, and you sure
why are you voting?
Why are you voting? Why are you serving in the military? Why are you doing anything like that if you cannot make an informed decision?
Well, Days had a judge here in North Carolina rule down our voter ID law. So now you do not need to show ID to vote.
That's bullshit.
Exactly.
How many times are you going to vote this year, Frank?
Yeah, exactly. I could probably vote at least a half a dozen.
Just get a good look at that list as you're behind the next person. Like, yep, that's me.
Mm-hmm.
But you see here, like, you guys don't have to vote, right? You can make the choice.
Yeah, we don't have to.
Over here, if you don't vote, you get fined.
Really?
So you have to roll up and vote. Otherwise, you get a $135 fine for not voting.
They should do that here in the U.S. They should absolutely.
But if you don't enroll to vote when you're 18,
then you're interfering with people's personal freedoms, and that's never gonna.
Exactly.
That's never gonna.
I've always looked at it as you're being forced to vote. If you have no skin in the game, you're going to cancel out someone's vote who actually has got skin in the game. And a lot of people will just go in there, and because they have to vote, will just donkey vote and pick up one, two, three people, and be done. One sec, guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bat chickens. Yeah, was it New Hanover County out there by the Outer Banks, north of Wilmington? They have a public vaping ban there now too. I think Myrtle Beach in South Carolina, I know they're not giving any more licenses out for vape shops, and I'm not sure. I think the ones that are still open are allowed to continue, but they're not allowed to grow, which is stupid. But and apparently Juul has not scrapped the manufacturing facility in Lexington. I heard a news report about last week.
Oh, they're just waiting to come in and clean up after the purge.
Yeah, pretty much. I think they're just waiting until after May, then they'll go open it up, because then they'll start getting an influx again. Well, once they actually, Juul hasn't applied for, well, as far as we know, they haven't been approved yet for any PMTAs.
I mean, it's a foregone conclusion that they're going to spend the money and put in the necessary paperwork. So,
well, here's the thing: we haven't seen any official paperwork, but the word coming down the line from people in the know is that Molecule Labs, such as the people who do Jules stuff, they've gotten the majority of their SKUs through. So
yeah, I figured that. And and now all of a sudden, because the crafty little bastards can't get mint Juul pods, they're actually not going to tobacco. They are going to Enjoy. They're going to Views because they can still get flavors.
I don't know if that's true.
I mean, that's what I'm seeing here. That's what the kids here. That's what they're doing.
I was gonna say the majority of them, they don't seem to care.
I mean, some of them just switched over to menthol, so you can still get that. But a lot of them are not. At least a lot of my daughter's friends in that. I know they're not doing it legally, but they're still, they're still getting their hands on it. Now they're all going to Enjoy and Views.
Later, Fidalgo.
Later, brother.
Cheers, Olin. I actually saw a breakdown. I think it was on the UVA that someone had done a breakdown of all of the vape devices by state and federally for number of offences of selling to underage.
Yeah.
Massive amount of work, and kudos. I can't put my finger on it right now, but it wasn't Juul that was the highest offender in as far as devices go. I'll see if I can hunt it down, and because it was someone totally out of left field that and surprised the shit out of me as to who it was that had the highest number of sales to underage users. But,
there you go, Spork Leafy.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what the bastards are vaping.
Yeah, they're doing that too. I mean, I saw that piece. I think it was
not doing it too. That's what they're doing. Like the majority of kids that are vaping, like when they busted them and all the things that they've confiscated.
Yeah, a lot of them were danks and carts and all that.
It's overwhelmingly THC. It's overwhelmingly THC devices.
Yeah, well, I think it was. Yeah, exactly. It was. Stefan put it out there. He had the pictures from. I think it was Livermore. They had everything they confiscated from the kids, and a lot of them were Soren drops, Soren airs. And a lot were Novos that were probably they might I know I mixed CBD for Beth and for a Novo, so it'd be no different for a kid to get a hold of that, get a hold of CBD or even probably some kind of THC and put it in a Novo pod, or a lot more were the the cartomizers with THC in them. Night Chrono, take it easy, brother. Good, thanks for stopping in. So that wouldn't surprise me a bit. Yeah, I'm not on the Not Blowing Smoke Facebook page anymore. I got in trouble about a year ago. Someone didn't like a comment I made, and I was just like, screw you guys, I'm out. Yeah. Someone got real shitty, and I guess I went a little over the top, but it happens. Yeah, kids like to get high, so do adults. Thing is, adults can, in many states, legally can get high. And that's another thing too. Like, it's something that is not federally regulated. It's federally regulated that it's fairly outlawed. Still banned. But the states are the only ones that are trying to do anything about it. Federal government, they're like, well, it's illegal, so oh well, we can't regulate it.
There you go. I found it now. Hang on, I'll just scroll down because it's a big report. So, nationwide, this is the FDA compliance checks and where the offences happened and what devices were involved. Check that one.
Yeah, the views.
44.9%. And these are the breakdown of compliance letters.
I wonder where they got that from. Where they're getting those from.
Probably 49.96% there to gas stations.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, a Views device is 99 cents.
Yeah.
And it's got that high nick in it too. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the
yeah,
pods are
that's
separate.
right.
Yeah, you can, but at least the views, to their credit, they have 18 milligram, 24 milligram, and then they have, they do have a couple of flavors that are in the 50s.
Yeah, they got their step down out before the first deeming regs, I think.
Yeah,
I'll put that link in chat if anyone wants to have a look at it. But it's got a state by state breakdown and national breakdown. It's really quite interesting to see where and who is doing all the damage. And it sure as shit is not vape shops. It's 6.2% nationwide. So 749 compliance reports for vape shops versus 5,967 for a gas station. So, but yeah, have a bit of a peeky bow. It's interesting to see. But, the other thing that always does my head in when they say that 97% of kids started vaping with flavors. Well, what the fuck did the other 3% start vaping with?
Yeah.
Because as far as I know, to this date, no one sells a unflavored fucking jewel pod or anything. So do they mean that 3% or whatever it is a tobacco flavor?
probably.
Because they don't consider that a flavor. So in other words, 100% of people started vaping with flavors. What a surprise, because no one sells friggin' unflavored bloody pods.
Yeah.
So it's just not a real normal statistic. It makes no sense whatsoever to say to quote it.
Yeah, and there's a good reason why they don't sell unflavored pods, because nobody will buy them.
Yeah, pretty much. But, the flappy that they're in over the over flavors is just. And it's coming down here. Like anyone who's in chat in Australia, your health minister is looking to ban the import of flavors. God knows how he will do it, but he is looking to try and get that happening. So, yay for our health minister. He's basically said flat out that while he is health minister, vaping will never, ever be legalized, ever.
It's time for a new health minister.
Oh, for sure.
Is that an appointed position or is that an elected position?
Well, no, you elect the person and then the prime minister decides what portfolio each minister has. And our health minister is a guy by the name of Greg Hunt, who is a solicitor, not a doctor. He has basically had people in his ear telling him how bad vaping is and rah-de-rah, and he will not even speak to vape advocates, the associations. He just won't entertain them at all. Basically said, no, I'm all about the science, he says, and then he pays $3 million to a university to come out with an anti-vaping, study.
Oh, yeah.
Not impossible at all, Mark. Not impossible at all.
Yeah, you're right, Michelle. Doctors don't know crap unless they're pulmonologists. Well, at least the doctor I have now, it's the same office because my insurance is only certain ones I can go to. At least what I'm dealing with now, they're more on the pro side of. They're not totally pro vaping, but they're not. They weren't trying to. I guess it must have been in my chart. Don't talk to him about vaping because you're just going to piss him off, and you're.
Flashing red light when you open up. Oh, don't get me started on glands.
Oh yes, and for a minute, right after the meeting with the president, it seemed he came out with, some positive stuff, and then he went right back to his bullshit again. The only one that really hasn't flipped back to where he is Jerome, the Surgeon General.
He's shut up a bit.
He's not the Surgeon General anymore.
That's 'cause
Jerome Adams?
Michelle got, yeah, Michelle. That's Michelle. Good one, Michelle. You got banned from being a Surgeon General. So, what is there another person taking over? Fred?
Jerome Adams was never confirmed. He was he was just temporary.
No, you're talking about the FDA. You're talking about the other guy. Stephen Hahn's the head of the FDA, but Jerome Adams is still Surgeon General.
Is he?
Yeah. Yeah, that guy that was like the interim after Gottlieb.
Jerome Adams has shut the fuck up.
He has.
Yeah, he has.
That's what. And you know what I think it was? You know when I noticed it happen? On Christmas. Because all the vapors that have been harassing him every time he puts out a tweet, they all went in and said, "Day off. I hope you and your family have a Merry Christmas." Everybody did it.
Yeah.
And so I think maybe he kind of turned a corner with this. So
it could be.
Well, yeah, who knows?
You know, we'll see. Or someone may have filled him in if you shut the fuck up.
Well, it seemed like right after the meeting.
Yeah, he sort of went a bit quiet. I wonder whether someone said a quiet word to him and say, "Hey, look, stop pushing this shit because we don't want that shit in the front."
Because he actually came out with a positive tweet, and I commented on it. Is this really you, Jerome, or is this a troll account?
Yeah, who is this guy that's posting and hacked his account? What the?
Yeah.
But I mean, what we need to do here in this country is hold the CDC and the FDA accountable for what they did.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And the only way to do that's through legal action. And all those people that lost somebody, you should get together and do a class action.
Yeah, and they're well within their rights to do so.
Yeah, you had the information and you fucking sat on it. People died because of what you did. That's what needs to happen.
Yeah, whether it'll go that way with all the buzzard lawyers circling around, yeah. But hopefully it does, and hopefully it happens soon because it might change a tune or two. But you know, I just get so like I posted it up on ELR that there's some solicitors firm are throwing out. You know, have you vaped? Are you sick? And they've got a stock
ambulance
image.
chasers, yep.
And they've got a stock image and they've photoshopped it so this girl looks really sick. And someone posted up both images between. It just makes you sick. The shit these bottom dwellers are doing.
Oh, yeah.
You know. But
yeah, Michelle has it right. Yeah, Trump's wife is.
Mark, the thing about class action lawsuits is that defendants don't pay.
Yeah,
they don't pay for anything.
No.
Like the
people that solicitors take their cut out of the winnings or whatever, don't they?
Yeah, the people that file the lawsuits initially, the complainants,
it's all pro
they don't pay for anything. The lawyers get a cut on the back end. They get a massive cut on the back end. They get like 40% of the payout. So it's just a matter. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, it's no different
until there's a class action about this, and hopefully they aim it at the right people. They shouldn't be aiming it at vape companies. They shouldn't be aiming it at Juul. People using a legal product illegally is not grounds for a class action lawsuit. It should be aimed at the people who knowingly sat on the information.
Well, some of the body parts
we knew it months ago. We've been talking about this since the fucking summertime.
Yeah.
That this is what's killing people.
Yeah, and I think I remember saying it back in August that this definitely sounds like lipid pneumonia. Now I didn't know where they were getting lipid pneumonia from, but I was saying it back then. This definitely sounds like a classic case of lipid pneumonia.
Yep.
Yeah. But some of the body part associations, like the lung association and all, they need to be put in the fucking crosshairs as well. Like
they're what's considered big charity, which means they're getting paid by big pharma and big media to put out false studies and put out false advertisements and drive fear, and like we know where all this goes. It's that circle of money that's going on.
Yeah, well, the Australian government's got their $14 billion a year to protect from their sin tax on cigarettes. So I know where.
Now, Mark, that's the thing. If you lose, you don't. It's all pro bono over here. Is what it is. So basically, it's the lawyers that are having all the risk in these class action suits.
Which is why their back end so high.
The plaintiffs don't
I
they don't
think
have anything.
It's
Yeah.
a no-win, no-lose situation, Mark, that they have over here with like Morrison, Blackburn, and stuff like that with the class actions over in the States. So
I think it's up to us though. I think it comes down to the voters. We need to hold these guys. We need to hold our governments accountable, and
Oh, absolutely.
go tell them, if you're not going to do anything about fucking cigarettes, why the fuck are you doing anything to vaping?
Yeah, and now the FDA just approved these lower nicotine cigarettes. All it's going to do is make people smoke more.
Exactly.
pretty much, you know.
Well, I mean, this is what they said they were going to do. They
Yeah,
said
okay.
they
They've
were
been
going
saying
to
for
do
like
that.
3
was-
years.
that
They were going to start rejecting the higher nicotine cigarettes.
Yeah.
They said it was going to.
That was
happen.
Gottlieb's main plan. That was his idea to drop the nicotine, drop out this, drop out that, you know, and you
Yep,
sort of sit there and-
gradually phase them out. Gradually phase out regular cigarettes. It's still giving them all the carcinogens. So, I mean, it's not like they're getting less carcinogens from in a lower nicotine cigarette.
No, there's no health benefit to a lower nicotine cigarette compared to a full flavor
There's
cigarette.
not.
well, no, they'll probably sell them for the same price, so they'll have more money. That's their benefit.
They will make
yeah.
they will make a whole bunch more money.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll sell
Because-
twice as many cigarettes. That's a way to prop up the MSA.
Yeah, so someone that's buying a carton a week is now going to buy 2 cartons a week, or 3 cartons every 2 weeks.
We all know nicotine is the expensive part. So,
Oh yeah. Yeah, the rest of it's just fillers. Yeah, take out the good shit, add more bad shit. Yep, exactly.
But I mean, you know, like the fact that these people cannot get through their head that, yeah, okay, vaping's got some shit in it that probably isn't that good for you, but it all comes down to concentrations. Like, you know, if you have a look at the concentration of XYZ that they're saying causes cancer, it's far less than fucking anything else. And they understand it when you're talking about an IQOS. They just don't get it when it comes to vaping, and that's what I don't understand. How can you see this with an IQOS but yet not see it when it comes to vaping?
Yeah,
and it's friggin' maddening. It really is maddening. But
yeah. If there's someone that doesn't want anything, they're still smoking today, and they want absolutely nothing to do with vaping, then I would suggest to them getting IQOS. But that would be the only reason. You know, if they still want something, you know, like a cigarette, but they don't want to vape because they want something that the FDA approves, at least, great, it's not as safe as what we're doing, but it's still less harmful than going and buying a pack of smokes.
well, this is something I said. Even if vaping was shown to be 1% better than cigarettes,
It's still better than
not,
cigarettes.
it's still fucking better. So, you know, like if you look at IQOS and you know, it still might contain 40 of the 80 carcinogens that are involved with smoking, it's still better.
Yeah.
You know, so I can totally get why that made it through FDA approval, but you know, the fact that they then chase down something which is, you know, even safer than that, why do that? You know, aside from money and power, there's no reason why you should chase after something that is safer, and there's no reason why you should tax it at the same level as a cigarette, which is far more dangerous.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't make people change into something if it's taxed at the same rate as risky behavior. You know, over here where our health system is government run and pretty much subsidized, like where Nick is, where it's government run, they encourage people to vape over there because they know overall their costs are going to be lower over time. So what they should be doing in countries where you have a health system that's supported by the government is they should be giving people fucking money to go and buy a vape. You know, they should be subsidizing it, you know, instead of demonizing.
And that's what surprised me about Canada, about that whole CBC report series they came out with all that bullshit is because Canada has socialized medicine like they do in the UK, like they do in Australia and a lot of other countries. But they still came out with this piece when before they weren't pro vaping, but they weren't anti vaping.
Yep.
You know, what was it last year? I guess it was last year, maybe 2017, where they changed some of the restrictions nationwide on as far as advertising. Like you couldn't have like fruit on the bottle or something, you know, or a bakery item on the bottom. It just had to say what it is, but no, you know, very plain packaging.
But I think in Canada, all the vape shops just said "fuck you" and were selling nicotine vapes before they were allowed to. I think they were put in a position where they could either regulate it or they could stop it, and they chose to regulate it. I correct anyone in Canada. Correct me if I'm wrong. That was my understanding of what was happening in Canada prior to the government getting on board with it. Is they were just saying, "Well, you know, we're going to sell nicotine. Bad luck." Which is what I'd love to see here in Australia. If every single shop just said, "Hey, you know what? Go root your boot. We're going to sell nicotine. You know, chase after us." And make it so expensive for the government that it's just not worth them doing.
Yeah. All right, gang. Well, we've got 2.5 hours already.
I was about to say I need to go.
Yeah, we're gonna shut this down. Let's see. Everybody knows where to find everybody. Nick, you got any new one shots over there at Chefs you want to pimp?
No new ones, just the same old ones, but they're still as good as they was.
Yeah, they're called epic shots, right? Yours
Epic
are
shots over at Chefs, yeah. They keep
check that out.
all the flavors and Nevens on. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. It's been a minute since we got to hang out on a stream.
I know, yeah. I don't often get the time, but
Oh yeah. Well, I
Yes, they
understand.
know. Yes, they do. The dodgy smoke shops do sell Nick. It's terrible Nick, and it's also fucking expensive. So they were selling. Some of the dodgy little shops are selling a 10 mil of nicotine, 50 milligram or something like that. There's one down in Melbourne. They were selling it for $15. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's rough. All right, gang. Happy New Year to everybody. Everybody be safe.
Here.
You know, be safe on the roads. You know, New Year's Eve is always amateur night. You know, just stay home and get hammered. Don't worry about.
Yeah, don't drink and drive. You might spill some.
Yeah. And we want to see all of you next week and next year, and next decade. So everybody be good. Great seeing everybody out tonight. First show in 3 weeks. We will be back next week. The following week, unfortunately, I'll be in Alabama for a training class that I have to take. So I'll be down there that Saturday night. At least they're paying me for it, but it's going to suck being away from home on Saturday night, especially if the Eagles are actually in the second round of the playoffs some possible way. Yeah, we'll see.
Be good, everyone. Be safe and have an awesome next year. Hopefully, it will be a better year in the vape space than this year. So
Exactly.
I agree.
hope for that.
All right, everybody. Good night. Be good. We'll see you next year. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.